Hello everyone, I'm very glad that you listened to my story. Please give me a follow and like the video if you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment and provide feedback so I can improve the sound quality. Yes, we invite you to listen to part 6 of the series. Chapter 96, 96 Temporary Retreat. Starting the next evolution. 96 Temporary Retreat. Starting the next evolution. Faced with the overwhelming number of vines, Wang Mang felt his scalp go numb. Not only were the roots of these branches very thick, but there were also too many of them, like countless tentacles spreading all over. Coupled with the fact that Wang Mang did not know much about the strength of this tree demon king, he naturally did not choose to fight head-on. Instead, he temporarily avoided the sharp edges. He hurriedly moved his huge body and retreated 30 meters away. As soon as Wang Mang retreated, the countless vines bombarded the place where he had previously been. Accompanied by a series of shocking explosions, Wang Mang turned around and saw that a huge pit that was nearly 10 meters wide had been blasted open on the ground where he had previously been. Dust filled the sky. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang couldn't help but gasp. Were these roots so terrifying? Although Wang Mang believed that these roots should not be able to break through his steel body, their power was still very scary. Moreover, if he had chosen to fight head-on earlier, it was very likely that he would have been entangled by countless roots. At that time, it would be difficult for him to break free. This was also one of the reasons why Wang Mang had chosen to temporarily avoid confrontation. That was because Wang Mang didn't dare to imagine what the consequences would be if he was caught. As for counterattacking, Wang Mang had yet to find a chance to do so. This was because the tree demon king was already giving him a headache just from the overwhelming number of roots. Just as Wang Mang was feeling troubled and helpless, he noticed that the overwhelming tree roots in the dust were attacking again. Seeing this, Wang Mang was shocked. He hurriedly retreated another 30 meters and avoided the sea of roots and vines again. However, what made Wang Mang helpless was that the attack range of the roots simply made Wang Mang's jaw drop. He had already retreated a full 60 meters, but the roots and vines could still extend. They seemed to attack endlessly. Feeling aggrieved, Wang Mang retreated again. This repeated several times until Wang Mang retreated more than 100 meters away. Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that the roots were finally unable to spread any further. It seemed that there was a limit to how far the roots could go. However, just as Wang Mang was about to relax, what happened next caused Wang Mang's eyes to completely widen, and he was dumbstruck. The tree demon king's huge body, the huge tree, actually rose from the ground, causing the ground to tremble. Its dense roots were like legs, supporting its huge tree body as it rushed towards Wang Mang. This scene not only stunned Wang Mang but also Lord Tiger, the stone demon, and the other python demons. Without exception, they were all stunned by the actions of the tree demon king in front of them. This was because they had never dreamed that the tree demon king could actually move. Although his movements were not fast, it could indeed move. Little python demon, if you have the ability, come at me. Why are you hiding like this? Are you trying to make me laugh myself to death? At this moment, the tree demon king's huge tree body was rushing towards Wang Mang. At the same time, the tree demon king's face was cold and his hoarse voice was filled with mockery. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang simply felt his scalp go numb, and he was shocked to his core. Wang Mang had originally planned to not come to the territory of the tree demon king in the future. After all, the tree demon king could not move. However, not only did the tree demon king move, but it was also moving rather quickly. This shattered Wang Mang's expectations. Especially when faced with the approaching tree demon king, Wang Mang made a decision after pondering for a moment. Out of the 36 strategies, running was the best. He really couldn't beat this guy. It was better to run. Thinking of this, Wang Mang coldly stared at the tree demon king and said, "The tree demon's actions today will definitely be repaid in the future." As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Mang shamelessly moved his huge body and fled. Surprisingly, the tree demon king did not chase after him. On the contrary, the tree demon king stared at Wang Mang's departing figure, seemingly incomparably furious. This was because Wang Mang's shamelessness was simply beyond his expectations. If he couldn't win, he would run. Moreover, he ran away so quickly. He had no bottom line and no principles. As for why he didn't give chase, This was because even if he wanted to, the Tree Demon King wouldn't be able to catch up to Wang Mang. His speed was not slow, but compared to Wang Mang, he was far inferior. That was why even though he was unwilling to give up, he could only temporarily let Wang Mang go. At the same time, the Stone Demon and the Python Demons who were watching the show not far away were speechless. They didn't expect Wang Mang to be so shameless. He ran away as soon as he realized he couldn't win. There hadn't even been a real battle. Of course, they did not think that Wang Mang was weak. It was just that this Tree Demon was too strong. Even if it was them, they would not be able to do anything about the overwhelming number of roots and vines. Furthermore, Wang Mang's decision not to fight head-on earlier was correct, since these tree roots and vines hid the Tree Demon King's mouthparts. Once Wang Mang was entangled, he would be sucked dry by the Tree Demon King. Therefore, Wang Mang's decision to escape was actually a very smart move. He really couldn't do anything to the Tree Demon. In addition, Wang Mang was helpless against the Tree Demon King's roots and vines. Nothing would change even if he tried fighting. Therefore, not to mention Wang Mang, even if it were the demons present, neither the Stone Demon nor the other Python Demons would be anything but helpless. After coming back to its senses, the Stone Demon now had a clear understanding of the strength of the Tree Demon King. It was very terrifying. At the same time, Lord Tiger, who had come with Wang Mang, was also frightened by the strength of the Tree Demon King. Especially after seeing the Stone Demon and the other Python Demons leave, he also hurriedly left in a panic. On the other side, Wang Mang, who had fled more than 10 kilometers away, finally slowed down. However, Wang Mang still felt very aggrieved. In the previous battle, he was totally suppressed. He did not even have the ability to counterattack. It was not an exaggeration to say that he was beaten up by this Tree Demon. He had no other choice but to flee. This Tree Demon was ridiculously powerful. *CK, he could still move. This simply shattered Wang Mang's understanding of the world. In addition, Wang Mang realized something. Although his strength was not bad, it's still far from enough to allow him to run rampant on land. His previous thoughts were too naive. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt extremely depressed. Fortunately, Wang Mang was much happier when he thought of his gains this time. Now, he had accumulated about 50 million evolution points. He was only 10 million evolution points away from the next evolution. When Wang Mang returned, he would be able to evolve after eating pigs for 2 more days. Chapter 97, 97 Successful Evolution. 45 meters. 97 Successful Evolution. 45 meters. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a pretty good mood. Although he had offended the Tree Demon King on this trip, Wang Mang had also gained a lot. 0.30,000,000 evolution points. Wang Mang was within reach of the next evolution. King Tree Demon King, just you wait. Let me go back and develop properly. The next time we meet, I'll definitely take your life. After cursing twice, Wang Mang slowly moved his body and headed home. At this moment, a familiar voice came from behind. Brother Giant Python, wait for me. Looking back, Wang Mang saw Lord Tiger galloping over from afar. After catching up, Lord Tiger could not help but sigh at Wang Mang in his heart. He felt that Wang Mang was too impulsive, and his temper too explosive. He had initially gone to celebrate the Tree Demon King's birthday, but in the end, this valiant neighbor had caused the Tree Demon King to fight. Although Wang Mang had already escaped, the Tree Demon King would definitely not give up. It was very likely that he would send his subordinates to seek trouble with Wang Mang. In short, the conflict between the Tree Demon King and Wang Mang was now very deep. The two sides were like fire and water. This was because Wang Mang had offended the Tree Demon King so badly by swallowing his subordinate in front of him. However, to be honest, Lord Tiger also felt that Wang Mang was quite unlucky to have been targeted by the Golden Eagle King despite not doing anything. Only after killing the Golden Eagle King did he realize that he was a subordinate of the Tree Demon King. This was an unfortunate calamity that came out of nowhere. Sigh. Brother Python, be careful. The Tree Demon King is not to be trifled with. After all, our own territories are actually within the larger territory of the Tree Demon King. In the future, the Tree Demon King will definitely continue to deal with you. Seeing that Wang Mang seemed to be in a good mood, Lord Tiger could not help but exhort him kindly. Wang Mang didn't care at all. He said disdainfully, "What are you afraid of? Give me some time. This tree demon is nothing to be afraid of." Seeing Wang Mang's confidence, Lord Tiger was a little surprised, but he didn't say anything else. In his opinion, since Wang Mang said this, he definitely had some trump cards in preparation for this. Therefore, on the way back, he intentionally treated Wang Mang better. He also invited Wang Mang to visit his territory more often when he had time. After exchanging pleasantries for a while, Lord Tiger and Wang Mang parted ways and returned home. After parting ways with Lord Tiger, Wang Mang traveled for a few more hours before returning to his territory. Moreover, because it was nighttime, Wang Mang rushed to his own farm as soon as he returned. After arriving at the farm, Wang Mang ate another 10,000 pigs and easily earned another 4,580,000 evolution points. At this point, Wang Mang was one step closer to evolution. He believed that he only needed to eat pigs for another day or two to start evolving. Satisfied, Wang Mang left the farm. After arriving at the shore of the Huanshan Reservoir, he directly entered the lake. When his huge body swam in the water, it created many layers of waves. After patrolling the area, Wang Mang entered the underwater nest to rest. By daytime, Wang Mang was still in his lair. To be honest, Wang Mang was considering whether or not to open the reservoir. If he kept it open, it would be detrimental to Wang Mang's activities during the day. He decided he would keep it closed. It would be a pity to miss out on such considerable income. After pondering for a long time, Wang Mang decided to let it develop. After all, Wang Mang was rarely active during the day. If he wanted to be active, he might not necessarily have to stay in the Huanshan Reservoir. He could enter the forest and move around. When night fell again, Wang Mang returned to the shore and ate the 10,000 pigs in the farm, earning another 4.5 million evolution points. At this point, Wang Mang was only 2 to 3 million evolution points away from evolution. However, Wang Mang was unwilling to wait any longer. Moreover, Wang Mang was prepared to evolve again tonight. That was because he still had the 10% off evolution card that he had yet to use. At the thought of this, Wang Mang first went to the reservoir to wash away the smell of blood. Then, Wang Mang returned to the nest and impatiently chanted, "System, start evolving. Use the 10% evolution card." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully used the 10% off evolution card. Ding! After using the 90% evolution card, 57.6 million evolution points are needed. Ding! Successfully deducted 57.6 million evolution points. Beginning evolution." In the next moment, Wang Mang completely lost consciousness. 2 hours later, Wang Mang finally woke up from his evolution. When he woke up again, Wang Mang observed the changes in his body in surprise. First of all, his size and body length had increased as expected. However, Wang Mang discovered something. His gains this time were huge. Could it be an illusion? Puzzled, Wang Mang muttered in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Deep Sea Giant Python. Status, Adult. Cultivation, 2,000 years. Body, 45 meters long, 3 meters wide, 17,000 kilograms. Combat strength, bite force 17,000 kilograms, speed 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, death entanglement, corrosive poison, color disguise, steel body, super self-healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty kill. Special, inventory, information detection, beginner lottery chance x1. Divine power, king's enslavement. Maul, activated. Evolution points, 2.1 million/130 million. After reading his personal information, only then did Wang Mang realize that it wasn't an illusion. The increase in his evolution this time was indeed huge. His body reached a length of 45 meters. His body was 3 meters wide. His weight had increased by 4 tons. In addition, his cultivation had also increased by 200 years. This meant that he could now match a demon with 2,000 years of cultivation. This evolution was a comprehensive increase in strength. He had improved in all aspects, and it had increased by quite a bit. Thinking of this, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. The only thing that gave Wang Mang a headache was that the next evolution points would require 130 million. Logically speaking, it should be 128 million. In the end, the system rounded it up to 130 million. Thinking about how he would need so many evolution points for his next evolution, Wang Mang felt a headache coming on. At this moment, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel helpless. Suddenly, Wang Mang realized that he seemed to have a lottery chance as well. After his eyes lit up, Wang Mang hurriedly said, "System, I'm going to use the lottery ticket." In the next moment, a wheel of fortune appeared in Wang Mang's mind. However, the 9 prizes this time were completely different. The prizes were 100 million evolution points, 50 million evolution points, 10 million evolution points, 1 million evolution points, 10% evolution card, 30% evolution card, 50% evolution card, 90% evolution card. Thank you for participating. Do it again. After looking at the prizes of the compass, Wang Mang immediately understood why it was called a beginner lucky draw. This was because the prizes were far inferior to the prizes he got from the lucky draw last time. The best rewards were 100 million evolution points and a 10% evolution card. However, Wang Mang had nothing to complain about since it was a free lucky draw. Thinking of this, Wang Mang muttered in his heart in anticipation, "System, let's start the lucky draw." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Host has successfully used the item, Beginner Lottery Chance. Then, Wang Mang saw the beginner wheel of fortune begin to spin. A minute later, the wheel stopped spinning. The system's voice sounded, "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have received one. Chapter 98, 98 winning 100 million evolution points. Summoning the TV station reporter. 98 winning 100 million evolution points. Summoning the TV station reporter." The system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained 100 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. 100 million evolution points have been credited. After the system's voice finished speaking, Wang Mang was stunned for a long time, until he saw the wheel of fortune in front of him. It was indeed pointing at the reward of 100 million evolution points. Only then did Wang Mang realize in shock that he had really hit the jackpot. Moreover, it was the grand prize. 100 million. F***ck. 100 million evolution points was good. With 100 million evolution points, Wang Mang could evolve again with another 30 million evolution points. After coming back to his senses, Wang Mang was overjoyed and almost cried tears of joy. Damn it! He had finally gotten lucky and won a big prize. Moreover, he had really struck gold. He got it in one draw. One had to know that 100 million evolution points was definitely one of the best rewards among the 9. The only reward better than 100 million evolution points was the 10% evolution card. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was overjoyed. It felt like he had won the lottery. He did not expect to actually end up getting the best prize. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's mood became even better. All right. System, you're finally being generous. Wang Mang suppressed his excitement and thought to himself. At the same time, Wang Mang could not help but chant in his heart, "System, open my personal information." He wanted to confirm if he had really earned 100 million evolution points. Even now, Wang Mang still felt as if he was in a dream. The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Deep Sea Giant Python. Status, Adult. Cultivation, 2,000 years. Body, 45 meters long, 3 meters wide, 17,000 kilograms. Combat strength, bite force 17,000 kilograms, speed 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, death entanglement, corrosive poison, color disguise, steel body, super self-healing, water breathing, bloodthirsty kill. Special, storage space, information detection. Divine power, king's enslavement. Maul, Activated. Evolution points, 102.1 million/130 million. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang couldn't stop smiling. He had achieved the small goal of achieving 100 million points, making him feel like something of a tycoon. After a long time, Wang Mang finally calmed down and saw that the sky outside the nest was still dark. Wang Mang couldn't help but leave the nest. He happily ran to the ring treasury for a stroll. After dawn, Wang Mang hummed a tune in his heart and patrolled the reservoir. Wang Mang mainly patrolled the west side of the Huanshan Reservoir. This was because this used to be the territory of the giant catfish. He wondered if these two fellows had left any treasures behind. Thinking of this, Wang Mang began to carefully search the waters west of the Huanshan Reservoir. What surprised Wang Mang was that after searching for a long time, he really found the nest of this giant catfish. This was a body of water that connected to the mountain. However, the huge mountain seemed to have been hollowed out, forming a huge hole underwater. This hole was very huge. After all, it could fully accommodate the giant catfish, so one could imagine how big it was. After entering the water cave, Wang Mang realized that this water cave was much better than the one he was using. Not only was this huge cave a completely different world, but it was also nearly 100 meters wide. The entrance of the cave was also more than 10 meters wide. In addition, after entering the water cave, Wang Mang discovered that there were some plants that looked like little transparent polka dots growing on the stone walls of the water cave. Upon seeing this, Wang Mang used information detection out of curiosity. In the next moment, information about this glass-like white plant appeared in Wang Mang's mind. Target: Earth Core Sprout. Status: Unripe. Type: Heavenly Treasure. After reading the information, Wang Mang finally understood why the giant catfish had set its nest here. This was because some treasure of heaven and earth was actually growing on the stone wall of this huge water cave. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but want to try it and see how many evolution points he could obtain. However, these sprouts were really too small. They were like tiny bean sprouts. Although they had sprouted, they had not completely grown yet. This thing that looks like a bean sprout is the core of the earth. Wang Mang was extremely surprised. After sizing it up for a while, he gave up on the idea of eating it immediately. These sprouts were not even enough to fill his teeth. He should wait until they fully grew before thinking about eating these core sprouts. With this thought in mind, Wang Mang moved his huge body and left the huge water cave. Although it was already daytime, Wang Mang was in a good mood. He was still in an excited state and was not ready to sleep. However, after swimming for a while in the reservoir, Wang Mang discovered something unusual. He could vaguely hear a loud noise coming from the water. When he looked up, Wang Mang realized that a helicopter was here. What was going on? Puzzled, Wang Mang quietly swam to the surface of the water and secretly looked at the shore of the reservoir. Then, Wang Mang was shocked to discover that many people had come to the reservoir. In addition, Wang Mang also saw that someone had actually prepared quite a number of boats. There were also many people carrying professional cameras. What the hell was going on? Could it be someone from a television station? Wang Mang muttered to himself. However, what Wang Mang didn't know was that he had guessed correctly. That was because the reservoir around the mountain had exploded in popularity several times. There were traces of the python and even videos clips of him. Hence, many people from the local television stations and media were attracted here. Furthermore, Wang Mang also saw from the shore that many rescue teams were preparing to deal with unexpected situations. There were simply too many people who came to join in the fun. There were several times more people than before, forming a sea of people around the shore of the reservoir. Wang Mang even vaguely saw his father being surrounded by a large group of reporters on the shore. F***CK. It can't be, right? Did he really attract the people from the television station? Seeing this scene, Wang Mang muttered uncertainly in his heart. At the same time, on the shore of Huanshan Reservoir, among the people in charge of filming at the television station, a short-haired reporter held a microphone and said with a smile, "Recently, there have been many reports of a super python living in the reservoir. There were even many enthusiastic netizens who filmed the traces of the super python. After professional verification, this video is confirmed to be unedited. In order to help the curious netizens, XXTV station's Shaoli personally came to the venue to uncover the existence of the super python in the reservoir. Moreover, in order to find traces of the super python, we've already invited the most professional crew to help and prepared safety measures. At this point, the short-haired beauty, Shaoli, said with a smile. Many media outlets are interviewing our target here, the contracted boss of Huanshan Reservoir. Let us interview him and gain the boss's opinion on this matter. Is there really a super python living in this ring treasury? As she spoke, the television station reporter, Shaoli, went to Father Wang's side and said with a smile. Boss Wang, do you think there are really water monsters or super pythons in your reservoir? Hearing this, Father Wang felt very helpless. He had been pestered by these reporters for a long time. After he could no longer hold them off, Father Wang reluctantly accepted this interview. If he rejected these media reporters, these reporters and media personnel wouldn't stop pestering him. Facing the beautiful reporter, Shaoli, Father Wang said righteously. Rumor. This is definitely a rumor. It's just simple commercial hype. My reservoir doesn't have any giant pythons. Chapter 99, 99 Malice detected from the beast god space. 99 Malice detected from the beast god space. Hearing Father Wang's words, the beautiful reporter, Shaoli, was speechless. Everyone in the Huanshan Reservoir was the same. They were all speechless. He had to realize that this matter had already been confirmed. That was because there were too many people in the reservoir who had filmed videos of the super python, and it was not just one or two clips at that. It was precisely because many people had filmed it that it attracted the attention of these media and television reporters. However, Father Wang was too impressive. He actually pretended to be stupid. He treated everyone present as fools. For a moment, many people who were watching the shore of the reservoir spoke up. Boss Wang, you're lying through your teeth. That's right. Everyone has already confirmed that there is a super python in the ring treasury. This old man is very bad. They've already confirmed it, but he still refuses to admit it. Of course he won't admit it. If this reservoir is restricted, how much money can he earn? But you can't lie through your teeth. This is too much. You actually pretended not to know. For a moment, many people on the shore of the Huanshan Reservoir began to complain. At this moment, the media was not to be outdone. They approached Father Wang again. Boss Wang, you claim that there's no python in your reservoir, but how do you explain these videos on the internet? That's right. Boss Wang, your reservoir doesn't just have pythons. There are even confirmed sightings of water monsters. Boss Wang, what if it is a safety hazard if you continue to keep the reservoir open like this? Boss Wang, why are you still quibbling when it's already been confirmed? How are you going to explain the video on the internet? Facing the media's questions, Father Wang felt a headache and was speechless. That was because Father Wang could not find any excuse to defend himself. That's right. How could he explain the clear videos on the internet? Father Wang, who felt a headache coming on, braced himself and pretended to be stupid. What video? Why didn't I know about it? Seeing that Boss Wang was still pretending to be stupid, they knew that it was very difficult for him to admit it himself. Therefore, the beautiful reporter from the television station, Shaoli, smiled and said, "It seems that our boss didn't see it with his own eyes. That's why we can't be sure that there's a super python in the reservoir. However, it doesn't matter. Let's go and search it ourselves. We'll be able to find out if there's any truth to it. For this, we have prepared 3 ways to detect if there are pythons in the reservoir. We've brought sonar ultrasonic detection, as well as underwater high-definition microcams, and finally, professional divers." At the same time, the staff of the television station were ready to attack. They gathered the water support boats that had been prepared. Then, dozens of teams began to set off into the depths of the reservoir. At the same time, Wang Mang, who was hiding in the distant water and secretly observing, witnessed this scene in full. Seeing this, Wang Mang felt somewhat helpless. Of course, he couldn't show himself. If he was exposed, it would probably attract even more attention. Thinking of this, Wang Mang moved his huge body and dove into the depths of the water. However, even if Wang Mang didn't show himself, he wasn't the only one in the reservoir. Don't forget. There was also spiritual fish in the reservoir. To a colossus like Wang Mang, who was the top dog in the reservoir, these sentient fish were naturally just prey. However, these spiritual fish were not to be trifled with by ordinary people. These spiritual fish were more than 10 meters long. Moreover, it had a high level of intelligence. Therefore, even though the people in charge of investigating the python did not find any traces of Wang Mang, the huge spiritual fish in the reservoir had scared them silly, and their faces were filled with shock. When they saw the images captured by the underwater detection cameras with their own eyes, they felt their scalps tingle. This reservoir is too strange. The fish inside are so big. I've just seen a huge fish that's several meters long. No way. There are big fish more than 10 meters long in this reservoir. Could these big fish in the reservoir be the legendary water monsters? The aquatic creatures in this reservoir are too terrifying. There are too many big fish. Now I can really believe that here might be a super python living in this reservoir. At this point, the beautiful reporter Xiao Li's voice was trembling with excitement. Although they still couldn't find any traces of the super python, the underwater world of the reservoir completely shocked them. They had never dreamed that there would be so many spiritual fish in this reservoir. To other places, these huge spiritual fish could be said to be water monsters. Moreover, there were too many of them. They did not even dare to let the divers go down, afraid that they would be swallowed by the big fishes. The interview team was originally so heated. They even threatened to expose the super python in the reservoir. However, now, they could only choose to end the session early. This was because they did not dare to continue exploring. This reservoir was really too terrifying. They were deeply afraid that an accident would happen. After all, the spiritual fish in the reservoir were too big. These terrifying big fish could no longer be considered fish to them. It was more appropriate to call them water monsters. Therefore, the television stations and media teams who had originally gathered in a grandiose manner all left the Huanshan Reservoir in a panic. Similarly, after the media reporters left, the reservoir around the mountains was destined to soon become the focus of attention again. At the same time, after these media outlets left regretfully, the crowd gathered around Huanshan Reservoir slowly dissipated. It was not until after dark that the people from the reservoir left one after another. However, there were many warning signs beside the reservoir. The warning sign read, "This reservoir is extremely dangerous. You are prohibited from swimming in the water. Trespassers will be punished." At the same time, after the sun set, Wang Mang became active again in the reservoir. There were too many people during the day. Even the reporters from the television station had come by. Naturally, Wang Mang could not afford to move about. Therefore, as soon as the sky turned dark, Wang Mang came to the shore of the Huanshan Reservoir and could not wait to head to the farm. By the time he arrived at the farm, he found that the 10,000 pigs had been prepared for a long time. Wang Mang ate them all without hesitation. At this point, he easily earned another 4.6 million evolution points. There were only 20 million evolution points left before Wang Mang evolved again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel happy. If only he could draw the lottery every time. Of course, Wang Mang only wished for this but still knew that it was unlikely. With this thought in mind, Wang Mang moved his huge body and left the farm. He first washed off the smell of blood in the reservoir before preparing to return to his nest on the shore. However, when he returned to the nest, Wang Mang sensed many powerful auras in the forest. This made Wang Mang very puzzled. Had another top-notch large-scale predator entered his territory? At this moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Detected malicious intent from the beast god space towards the host. The host is given the following mission choices. Mission number 1, facing the encirclement sent by the beast god space, choose to avoid and survive. Mission duration, 2 days. Mission reward, 10 million evolution points. Quest 2, facing the encirclement sent by the beast god space, choose to counterattack. Mission duration, 2 days. Mission reward, 20 million evolution points. Mission 3, facing the encirclement sent by the beast god space, choose to kill with lightning. Mission duration, 2 days. Mission reward, 30 million evolution points. A beginner's blind box gift bag. Chapter 100, 100 Is this the little python mentioned in the mission? 100 Is this the little python mentioned in the mission? After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. He hadn't provoked the beast god space recently. At most, he would participate in the other party's mission. However, he didn't actually do anything himself. Why did the beast god space have malicious intentions toward him? Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart became heavy. Malice from the beast god space. This was something he had never expected. Of course, since the other party had ill intentions toward him, Wang Mang would not be afraid. Based on his side, only a fool would try to encircle and annihilate him in his territory. How big was Wang Mang now? His length had reached 45 meters. What could the beast god space do to him on land? If they were in the ocean, Wang Mang might still be a little worried. However, Wang Mang was really not afraid of anyone on the shore. Even if he could not defeat them, he could still run. With this thought in mind, the worry in Wang Mang's heart faded. Of course, Wang Mang wanted to take a look. What kind of ant was sent by the beast god space to encircle him? With this, Wang Mang began to catch the scent of the unfamiliar aura of a top predator in the air. After this, Wang Mang followed the aura and quickly entered a forest. On the other side, in a forest, dozens of top-notch ferocious beasts gathered in the forest. Among these ferocious beasts were lions, tigers, brown bears, and even polar bears. All in all the top large predators that could be found on land were gathered here. This included the brutal lion and the Cape lion. The eagerness of the group was palpable, and they were obviously looking forward to it. However, the brutal lion was not so optimistic. It was even a little worried. This was because none of the members of the beast god space had interacted with Wang Mang before. Therefore, these members of the beast god space had no idea how terrifying Wang Mang was. One had to know that the brutal lion was one of the largest beasts around. However, even with such a lineup, could they really get rid of Wang Mang? After experiencing Wang Mang's terrifying attack last time, the brutal lion and Cape lion did not think so. This was because when they had first met Wang Mang, he was already extremely terrifying. Their entire team, together with the Manchurian Tiger King team, had been completely wiped out. Would they be able to subdue Wang Mang with just these stinky fish and rotten shrimps? Forget it. Unless Wang Mang stood there and let them hit him without retaliating. Captain, what should we do? This beast god space is crazy. It wants us to deal with that super python. At this moment, Cape Lion's tone was a little heavy. Hearing this, the brutal lion was also very helpless. He said in a low voice, "What else can we do? Just admit that we're unlucky. I can't believe we came to Huanshan Reservoir again. And I don't know why the beast god space is targeting the giant python." Cape Lion thought for a moment and slowly said, "I heard rumors that this super python badly violated the mission rules of the beast god space. Otherwise, the beast god space wouldn't have attacked a creature so suddenly." After hearing the Cape Lion's words, the brutal lion nodded. This is really possible. In reality, this was genuinely the case. Wang Mang had participated in the mission in the beast god space. It badly broke the rules of fairness in the beast god space's missions. Therefore, even though the beast god space was a mechanical entity and behaved like a program, it still went after Wang Mang. That was because Wang Mang was a heretic who had challenged the beast god space to carry out missions. And this didn't just happen once or twice. That was why the beast god space had issued a mission to surround and kill Wang Mang. Wang Mang had been targeted by the beast god space. At this moment, after hearing the words of the Cape Lion and the brutal lion, a polar bear beside him said disdainfully, "Based on what you said, is this mission equivalent to courting death?" Hearing the polar bear's words, the brutal lion didn't say anything, nor did it bother to explain. At this moment, another 6-meter-tall brown bear could not help but mock, "Lion King, why are you tarnishing your own reputation while hyping that guy up? Everyone here is a top predator on land. Why would they be afraid of a giant python? Even if we can't defeat it alone, we can still attack it together. Forget a giant python, we could even tear a dinosaur apart." After hearing the brown bear's words, the top predators gathered together also laughed fearlessly. Seeing this scene, the brutal lion shook its head secretly. These guys were simply ignorant. They were really used to being the apex predator. At this moment, there was a faint sound of movement from the dense bushes in the distance. It made all the top predators present subconsciously look over. In the next moment, everyone saw an extremely shocking scene. A super python that was 3 meters thick and 45 meters long appeared in their field of vision. This was a super huge python that was as black as ink. The python's head was 10 meters tall, and its cold snake eyes were staring at them. This giant python was naturally Wang Mang, who had rushed over upon hearing the news. After sizing up these dozens of top predators, Wang Mang was very surprised. He didn't expect the beast god space to send so many people to surround him. Moreover, these guys were all famous predators on land. Brown bears, polar bears, Nile crocodiles, silverback gorillas, cheetahs, Siberian tigers, lions, and so on. There was even an anaconda among them. It should be 18 meters long. Of course, this small anaconda was nothing compared to Wang Mang. At the same time, Wang Mang's appearance shocked all the members of the beast god space. They looked at the super python in front of them in shock. Only then did they understand why the brutal lion was so worried. The giant python in front of them was not something they could afford to provoke. It was too big. It was a 45-meter-long python. It was more than 3 meters wide. If they fought, it would be like a father beating his son. They would be completely crushed. At that moment, the group, who were originally full of confidence, immediately became chaotic. Is this our target? What the F***ck? Are they sending us to our deaths? No. I seriously suspect that they want us to be its snacks. D***mn, I'm not even as wide as him. Is this the little python mentioned in the mission? They treated us as idiots. I was wondering why I was offered an astronomical reward for this mission. This mission is impossible to complete. This can't be. So this is the little python mentioned in the mission. I was too naive. Chapter 101, 101 Evolving Again. 48 meters. 101 Evolving Again. 48 meters. Let me tell you a joke. A 45 long super python is a little python. Sigh. I regret this so much. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have accepted this damn mission. I really thought it was just a little python, but it turns out that I was too naive. All of a sudden, the members of the beast god space lost their will to fight. They still wanted to complete the mission. The problem was that this mission was simply impossible. At the same time, when Wang Mang saw that these beast god space members were so scared that they had lost their ability to fight, he couldn't help but feel happy. This way, Wang Mang could save a lot of effort. Even though Wang Mang didn't really consider them a challenge, if these people were tenacious, they could waste a lot of his time. With that thought in mind, Wang Mang slowly approached and stared coldly at the members of the beast god space. Although they were all top predators on land, this was not enough to challenge Wang Mang. At the same time, the moment they saw Wang Mang, the brutal lion completely lost its last shred of hope. If Wang Mang's size hadn't changed too much, they would still be able to struggle. However, the problem was that Wang Mang was much larger than before. He had changed drastically compared to before. Thinking of this, Brutal Lion and Cape Lion looked at each other and saw the bitterness in each other's hearts. At the same time, Wang Mang slowly moved his body and attacked these ants. Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and spat out a large amount of corrosive poison. This caused the members of the beast god space who did not manage to dodge in time to immediately let out miserable cries after being hit by Wang Mang's corrosive poison. There were even some unlucky members who were directly taken out by the corrosive poison. It could be said that Wang Mang's terrifying strength was even more great than they had imagined. Seeing this scene, the brutal lion could not help but be terrified. He's become stronger again. He's much stronger than before. I'll fight it out with you. At this moment, the 6-meter-tall polar bear could not help but roar angrily. Then, under the stunned gazes of the beast god space members, the polar bear that had rushed in front of Wang Mang was immediately bitten and swallowed. At the same time, the system's familiar voice sounded in Wang Mang's mind. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have devoured a mutated polar bear and obtained 50,000 evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang couldn't help but curl his lips. This amount of evolution points was too little. These evolution points were nothing to Wang Mang. Thinking of this, Wang Mang no longer paid any attention to task and simply attacked with lightning speed. After Wang Mang made his move, the members of the beast god space who had regained their senses also pounced at him crazily. Although they were afraid of Wang Mang's size, they would definitely not choose to sit and wait for death. Therefore, all of them went all out and began to fight Wang Mang to the death. Unfortunately, even if they were willing to risk their lives, it didn't pose much of an obstacle to Wang Mang. When Wang Mang's tail occasionally swept over, it would even kill a few of them. As for those who were lucky enough to get close, Wang Mang simply spat out a mouthful of corrosive poison and killed them on the spot. No matter how bravely these guys charged, they were all easily killed by Wang Mang. At the same time, the feeling of killing weaklings made Wang Mang feel a little high-spirited. This feeling was like a top-tier boss coming to a beginner village. It was a one-sided massacre. Furthermore, their attacks on Wang Mang were totally useless. This was because Wang Mang was too big. He had reached a huge size of more than 40 meters. He was completely overwhelming in terms of strength. It was an all-round suppression in terms of size as well. Hence, the members of the beast god space died miserably by Wang Mang's hands like dumplings in a pot. At this point, there were screams everywhere in the forest, as the members of the beast god space were slaughtered on the spot. This lasted for an hour. An hour later. Only then did the forest quieten down. There were animal corpses scattered all over the ground. In the huge forest, in the entire empty space, there was only a trembling brother from the grasslands. A hyena. The trembling hyena looked at Wang Mang in a daze without any fighting spirit. Seeing this, Wang Mang simply gave him a quick death and sent him flying with his tail. At this point, all the members of the beast god space had been easily killed by Wang Mang. To be honest, Wang Mang still had some lingering thoughts after killing these beast god space members. He realized that the top predators sent out by the beast god space were simply not enough to satiate his bloodlust. In truth, Wang Mang, whose blood was boiling, wanted to say, "Give me another dozen of these weak chickens." In the next moment, the system's voice sounded in Wang Mang's mind. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully completed the mission. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained 30 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained a free basic gacha. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have accumulated enough evolution points to meet the evolution requirements. Do you want to evolve? No. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was overjoyed. He had just evolved not long ago. Now, he could evolve again. This feeling of constantly evolving and becoming stronger was indescribably satisfying. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was even happier. He couldn't wait to evolve again. Wang Mang first swallowed the bodies of the beast god space members. These corpses also gave Wang Mang 800,000 evolution points. Even so, evolution points were not worth mentioning. If not for the mentality of accumulating small amounts, Wang Mang would not even be bothered to eat these guys. After this, Wang Mang, who was now satisfied, moved his huge body out of the forest and rushed back to his nest. After returning to the nest, Wang Mang curled his body into a ball and couldn't wait to chant in his heart, "System, start evolving." The next moment, the familiar voice of the system sounded in Wang Mang's mind. Beep. Successfully deducted 130 million evolution points. Beginning evolution. In the next moment, Wang Mang completely lost consciousness. 2 hours later, Wang Mang gradually woke up after his evolution. First of all, he first observed the changes after evolution. He realized that he had become even thicker and bigger. Of course, Wang Mang wasn't sure how much had changed. Therefore, Wang Mang muttered in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Deep Sea Giant Python. Status, Adult. Cultivation, 2,200 years. Body, 48 meters long, 3.3 meters wide, 20,000 kilograms. Combat strength, bite force 20,000 kilograms, speed 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, Deathbind, corrosive poison, skin camouflage, steel body, super self-healing, underwater breathing, bloodthirsty rage kill. Special, storage space, information detection, basic gacha X1. Divine power, king's enslavement. Maul, activated. Evolution points, 3.1 million/260 million. Chapter 102, 102 200 million evolution points from the gacha. And a new skill. 102 200 million evolution points from the gacha. And a new skill. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. This evolution had made him much stronger. His current size was finally close to 50 meters. In addition, his weight had reached 20 tons. His bite force had also reached 20 tons. Wang Mang was very satisfied with this increase in size. He believed that if he continued to evolve crazily, he would be able to break through 100 meters sooner or later. At that time, he would probably be invincible, right? If it wasn't enough, he would continue to evolve. What? 100 meters isn't enough. Then let's go to 200 meters. 200 meters is not enough. Then I'll evolve to 500 meters. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's blood boiled, and he couldn't help but feel a little excited. The only flaw in this evolution was that he did not obtain any skill rewards. Of course, Wang Mang was not too disappointed. This was because obtaining skills depended on luck. He also knew that he could not obtain skills every time he evolved. In addition, Wang Mang was surprised to discover that he seemed to have obtained a gacha after completing the mission. Speaking of the gacha, Wang Mang was speechless. He felt that the system was really evolving with the times. Needless to say, it had previously shown lottery wheels. Now, it even had gachas. He wondered if treasure chests would appear in the future. Of course. Wang Mang was also a little curious. What could be obtained from the basic gacha rewarded by the system? With this thought in mind, Wang Mang muttered in anticipation, "System. Open the gacha." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained 200 million evolution points. Ding. Warning. 200 million evolution points have been recorded. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained a 90% off evolution card. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained a new skill, 10,000 Beast Deterrence. 10,000 Beast Deterrence, when the target's strength is lower than the host's, after the host uses the skill, the target's strength will decrease by 1/3. When the target's strength is greater than the host, the target's strength will increase by 1/3 after using the skill. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned again. He had never dreamed that there would be 3 items in this basic gacha. Among the 3 items, there were 2 good rewards. The worst among them was a 90% discount evolution card. The best was a direct reward of 200 million evolution points. In addition, there was actually a skill in this basic gacha. For a moment, Wang Mang even felt like he was dreaming. It felt extremely unreal. Had he been recently blessed by the goddess of fortune? He first drew 100 million evolution points not long ago. Now, the reward was even more crazy. He had actually been given 200 million evolution points. Could it be that the beginner gacha was filled with good things? However, Wang Mang didn't think so. Could everything in the basic gacha be good? The system was not so generous. Not everything could be so good. Then there was only one explanation. His luck had been really very good recently. He did not obtain any skills when he evolved, but he obtained a skill when he opened the gacha. Even if this was not considered good luck, the 200 million evolution points was enough to prove that Wang Mang's luck had been extremely good recently. At the thought of this, Wang Mang even had the urge to laugh out loud. 200 million evolution points had been received. In other words, he was only 60 million evolution points away from the next evolution. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was simply overjoyed. This comfortable evolution process was very satisfying. However, what made Wang Mang a little speechless was his new skill, 10,000 Beast Deterrence. This skill was a little melodramatic. The main reason was that the effect of this skill rendered him speechless. If his opponent was stronger than him, using the skill would increase his opponent's combat strength by 1/3. If the opponent was weaker than him, using the skill would decrease his opponent's strength by a third. Wasn't this an obvious case of bullying the weak and fearing the strong? Even though Wang Mang sometimes liked to attack the weak and was submissive to the strong, he felt that the intentions expressed by this skill was too obvious. Was Wang Mang the kind of person who bullied the weak and feared the strong? Why else would they give him this skill? The only answer was that Wang Mang himself was this kind of python. What was there to doubt? Therefore, Wang Mang was very satisfied with obtaining this skill. He felt that this skill was essentially a big move to kill opponents who were weaker than him. The system was too shameless. He actually gave him a skill that specialized in bullying the weak. As Wang Mang was happily thinking of this, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Detected the host's shameless behavior of cursing after benefiting. Warning the host once. If the host acts shamelessly again, one of the benefits obtained by the host will be randomly deducted. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang hurriedly said awkwardly, "System, don't misunderstand. Why would I scold you? System, the skill you gave me is simply too good. This makes me feel even better when I abuse noobs. This skill is very good." Wang Mang was telling the truth. If this skill was used to torture the weak, it would be extremely satisfying. Therefore, Wang Mang quite liked this skill, and he found it quite useful. In a good mood, Wang Mang even couldn't wait to use the skill to test its effect. However, after seeing that the sky outside the nest was gradually turning dark, Wang Mang had no choice but to temporarily give up on this idea. When Wang Mang got home, he saw the little thing, who was sleeping soundly, and immediately had an idea. 10,000 beast deterrence. Wang Mang immediately used his new skill on the little thing, Brother Pingtu. The little thing, who was still sleeping, seemed to have woken up from a nightmare. The little thing got up in a panic. His body trembled as he looked around in confusion. This feeling was as if he had suddenly been targeted by some terrifying existence. After seeing this little thing's reaction, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. This skill was not bad. After he used his skill on this little thing, Bro Pingtu, who was sleeping soundly, was startled awake from his sleep. When he saw this little thing trembling, Wang Mang felt even more amused. Only after he stopped using his skill did the little thing slowly calm down. It scratched its head in confusion and then looked at Wang Mang. Looking at this little thing's frightened and innocent expression, Wang Mang smiled in his heart and immediately said, "It's fine. Go back to sleep." However, the little thing still looked around vigilantly for a while. In the end, he crawled over to Wang Mang's side and continued sleeping. Obviously, in the little thing's opinion, it was safer to stay close to Wang Mang while sleeping. When night fell again, Wang Mang left the nest. It was a dark and windy night. Wang Mang, who had a huge body, crept through the forest, moving his body towards the farm. After arriving at the farm, Wang Mang ate 10,000 pigs and earned another 4.51 million evolution points. After eating the pigs, Wang Mang left the farm in satisfaction. Wang Mang couldn't help but want to know how many evolution points he needed to evolve. Thinking of this, Wang Mang muttered in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Deep Sea Giant Python. Status, Adult. Cultivation, 2,200 years. Body, 48 meters long, 3.3 meters wide, and 20,000 kilograms heavy. Combat strength, bite force 20,000 kilograms, speed 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, Deathbind, corrosive poison, skin camouflage, steel body, super self-healing, underwater breathing, bloodthirsty rage kill, 10,000 beast deterrence. Special, storage space, information detection, 90% evolution card. Divine power, King's enslavement. Maul, activated. Evolution points, 208.1 million/260 million. Chapter 103, 103 Bountiful Reward Mission. Subdue an old turtle as a subordinate. 103 Bountiful Reward Mission. Subdue an old turtle as a subordinate. After reading the message, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. He was still 52 million evolution points away from evolving. Even if he did nothing every day and ate 10,000 pigs every night, it would only take him a little more than 10 days to evolve. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel happy. He moved his huge body to the bank of the Huanshan Reservoir, washed off the smell of blood on his body, and began to patrol his territory in the reservoir. After patrolling for a while, Wang Mang prepared to leave in a good mood. However, just as Wang Mang was about to return to the shore, Wang Mang, on the other hand, unexpectedly found a super big turtle on the surface of the lake. This turtle was very big. Its back was covered in moss and its turtle shell was 7 to 8 meters long. This immediately attracted Wang Mang's attention. He moved his huge body in the water and quickly rushed over. However, when the turtle heard the commotion, it was so frightened that it immediately sank into the water. However, Wang Mang was too fast. His huge body exploded from the surface of the lake. This was because Wang Mang's speed in the water could easily exceed 100 kilometers per hour. What was his fastest speed underwater? To be honest, Wang Mang himself wasn't too sure either. However, when he was in the water, Wang Mang was indeed like a fish in water. His speed was simply terrifying. In just a moment, Wang Mang had already caught up to the giant turtle. When it saw Wang Mang, who was almost 50 meters tall, blocking its path, the old turtle immediately stopped. He looked at Wang Mang in horror, his huge head shrinking into his turtle shell. He hurriedly begged, "Your Majesty, this is my first time here. I had no intention of offending your Majesty. I didn't know this was your Majesty's territory. Please forgive me." Hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned. This super turtle was too cowardly. Wang Mang had yet to decide if he should kill him, but this super old B***** actually admitted defeat so quickly. However, Wang Mang was extremely satisfied when he saw this super old B*** trembling in front of him, not daring to disobey him at all. Moreover, the other party didn't know that this was his territory. He should only be passing by. With that thought in mind, Wang Mang's hostility towards the super old turtle immediately dropped. Just as Wang Mang was about to speak, the familiar voice of the system sounded in his mind. Ding! Detected that the host does not have a loyal subordinate in the reservoir. The host is given the following mission choices. Quest number 1, let the super B** go. Mission time, reward obtained upon completion. Mission reward, 10 million evolution points. Quest 2, take in the super B***. Mission time, reward obtained upon completion. Mission reward, 20 million evolution points. Third mission, help the super B** take revenge. Make him a subordinate who will follow you to the death. Mission duration, 3 days. Mission reward, 30 million evolution points. 1 basic gacha and 1 beginner wheel of fortune. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned. He did not expect the system to issue another mission. Moreover, it wanted him to take this turtle as a subordinate. Was he going to make this turtle his Prime Minister turtle? Thinking of this, Wang Mang shook his head secretly. Only the Dragon King would use a turtle as a Prime Minister. However, he was a giant python, not a Dragon King. In the end, the system did give him a different treatment. From the looks of it, it clearly wanted him to help this turtle. Although this made him speechless, Wang Mang really couldn't refuse. This was because the reward offered by the system was too high. 30 million evolution points. In addition, there was also a basic gacha and a wheel of fortune opportunity. Wang Mang had drawn 100 million and 200 million from these two items. Of course, Wang Mang would not give up such a good opportunity just like that. What if the gacha gave him a few 100 million evolution points? At the thought of this, Wang Mang immediately made a decision in his heart. He muttered in his heart, "System, I choose mission 3. The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Host has successfully chosen a mission. Please complete the mission as soon as possible and obtain the reward. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang focused his gaze on the big turtle. Upon closer inspection, Wang Mang discovered that there were many fresh wounds on the turtle's shell. Thinking of this, Wang Mang asked the old turtle, "What exactly happened to you? Tell me in detail." Hearing this, the old turtle explained the matter honestly. It turned out that this old turtle was a spiritual demon from a river 50 kilometers away. His previous king was a crocodile demon, nicknamed Black Crocodile King. This black crocodile king was a great demon with 1,800 years of cultivation. It had been dominating the Black River for more than 1,000 years. This old turtle had followed this black crocodile king for more than 1,000 years. Not only that, this old turtle had been loyal to this black crocodile king for more than 1,000 years. It could be said that he had served this black crocodile king for more than 1,000 years. However, half a month ago, this black crocodile king decided to break past 2,000 years of cultivation. Unfortunately, he did not have any heavenly treasures to aid him. In the end, he set his sights on the old turtle's inner core. In order to break through, the black crocodile king finally targeted the old turtle that had followed it for more than 1,000 years. The old turtle, who had been loyal to the black crocodile king for more than 1,000 years, naturally would not sit still and wait for death. Therefore, under the pursuit of the black crocodile king, the old turtle escaped from the Black River territory and fled all the way to Wang Mang's territory. After hearing the gist of the matter, Wang Mang thought about it and felt that this black crocodile king was too shameless. After all, even Wang Mang, who had always been proud of his shamelessness, would not do such a thing. This old B***** had followed him for more than 1,000 years. Even if he didn't make any contributions, he must have worked hard, right? Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately vowed, "Old B*****, don't worry, just stay here." Upon hearing this, the old turtle was instantly moved to tears, but he could not help but worry. "Your Majesty, if the black crocodile king comes looking for you, won't it implicate you, Your Majesty?" Hearing this, Wang Mang immediately said disdainfully, "It's just a crocodile. I don't care. How about this? Old B*****, lead the way for me. I'll go to the Black River and help you kill this black crocodile king." Upon hearing this, the old turtle almost couldn't hold back his tears. He didn't expect Wang Mang to not only take him in, but to also be willing to avenge him. For a moment, the old turtle's tone was filled with gratitude as he pleaded, "Thank you, Your Majesty. I have nothing to repay you with, but I'm willing to stay by Your Majesty's side and be your slave." These words of loyalty made Wang Mang secretly nod in satisfaction. He couldn't wait to say, "Old B*****, bring this king to the Black River now." Coincidentally, this king hasn't eaten a great demon for a while. Thinking of this, Wang Mang became even more excited. This was because a great demon was worth 5 million evolution points. In other words, he only needed to kill this black crocodile king. By then, not only would he receive 30 million evolution points as a reward, he could also gain an additional 5 million evolution points. In addition, he would obtain a basic gacha, as well as obtaining a Wheel of Fortune opportunity. Chapter 104 Black Crocodile King. 36-meter-long Super Crocodile. 104 Black Crocodile King. 36-meter-long Super Crocodile. It could be said that as long as Wang Mang killed the Black Crocodile King, he could evolve again. After all, Wang Mang believed that with his luck, he could easily get something good or even a few 100 million evolution points. This was also the reason why Wang Mang couldn't wait, because this Black Crocodile King, to the current Wang Mang, was simply a massive amount of rewards waving at his face. At the same time, tears welled up in the old turtle's eyes. He only hated himself for not following Wang Mang earlier. After all, they had just met and he was already willing to avenge him. How bad could he be? Therefore, the old turtle swore in his heart that after Wang Mang helped him take revenge, he would definitely follow Wang Mang to the death. "This old servant will lead the way for the king now," the old turtle said gratefully. Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction and followed behind Old Turtle. Just as Old Turtle was leading the way on the surface of the reservoir, he suddenly stopped. Then, Old Turtle panicked and said, "Your Majesty, the black crocodile is here. He's nearby. His aura. I'm too familiar with it." Hearing this, Wang Mang looked at Old Turtle in surprise. Of course, Wang Mang knew that this old turtle would not lie to him. At the thought of this, Wang Mang slowly spat out his scarlet snake tongue, capturing the scent in the air. As expected, there was the aura of a top predator. Another top predator had appeared in his territory. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart turned cold. He did not take note of Old Turtle's panic at all. If this Black Crocodile King came to his territory, it would save him the trouble of making the trip. At this moment, Wang Mang saw a colossus crawling out of the forest on the shore of the reservoir in the distance. After the behemoth crawled out, it slowly moved its huge body and entered the reservoir. Old Turtle naturally saw this scene and said in fear, "My king, he's the black crocodile. He's chasing after us." Hearing this, Wang Mang watched calmly as the giant crocodile approached the lake from the distance. This giant crocodile was huge. At a glance, it was 36 meters long. It looked like a small cruise ship on the water. This black crocodile's skin was pitch black, and its hard and thick crocodile armor made it look like a fully armed warrior. Its speed in the reservoir was also very fast. As his huge body swayed, it created huge waves on the surface of the lake. This was also the first time Wang Mang had seen such a terrifyingly huge crocodile. How terrifying was a 36-meter-long crocodile? Each floor was 4 meters tall, which meant that this huge crocodile was as long as a 9-story building. In addition, his body was very strong and wide, wider even than Wang Mang's body. The area where the black crocodile's body was thickest should be nearly 4 meters wide. Of course, such a huge body was indeed comparable to a colossus to other creatures. However, this terrifying crocodile was still not enough to face Wang Mang. One had to know that Wang Mang's body was 48 meters long. Therefore, although this super black crocodile was huge, there was still a gap between it and Wang Mang. Similarly, after seeing Wang Mang's size on the water surface, the black crocodile immediately stopped. He gazed at the surface of the water from afar. Wang Mang's enormous size made his heart beat like a drum. This was because Wang Mang's body was too large. He was even larger than him by a significant amount. Furthermore, he also sensed a fatal threat from Wang Mang's aura. This clearly proved that the super black python in front of him had the ability to kill him. Moreover, it was very likely that he had entered Wang Mang's territory. This was simply a blatant provocation to a great demon that dominated an area. It was precisely because of this that the black crocodile hesitated when it saw the old turtle in front of it. He was clearly stunned by Wang Mang's terrifying size. He even felt like he was staring death in the face. Along the way, he had no scruples. He had barged into the territory of demons a few times, but he relied on his huge size to back up his unscrupulous behavior. This was because many great demons on land could not threaten him at all. He had always thought of himself as the overlord of the water. Along the way, when chasing after this old turtle, he became even more fearless and charged straight over. However, what gave the black crocodile a headache was that he had barged into Wang Mang's territory this time. He was not afraid of other greater demons, but he was very afraid of Wang Mang, who was also an overlord of the water. If Wang Mang wasn't this big, he wouldn't be too afraid. The problem was that his size couldn't compare to Wang Mang's. Sometimes, size was the easiest way to show one's strength. The stronger one was, the more terrifying one's size would be. Therefore, the black crocodile knew that it had kicked a steel plate just by looking at Wang Mang's size. The black crocodile looked at the old turtle that was so close to him. Although it was unwilling, it was now prepared to give up. Of course, it was obviously impossible for him to leave so easily either. He had to greet the owner of this territory first. At the thought of this, the black crocodile and Wang Mang looked at each other from afar as the former said apologetically, "I didn't mean to intrude into your territory. Please forgive me. I'll leave your territory now." Hearing this, Wang Mang slowly opened his bloody mouth and said coldly, "There's no need to leave. Since you're already here, stay." Hearing Wang Mang's words, the black crocodile's heart sank. It naturally knew that Wang Mang wasn't willing to let this matter rest. After all, when demons interacted with each other, it was usually easier to talk if their strength was on the same level. Once there was a difference in strength between the two sides, the stronger side would target the weaker side and not even mind eating the other party. This was because the fastest way for demons to increase their strength was to devour others of their own kind whose strength was not much different from theirs, or even devour those stronger than them. This was why demons were much more prosperous than cultivators on Earth. However, he, the black crocodile, was not to be trifled with. He had already lived for 1,800 years, so he naturally had the arrogance of a great demon. Therefore, in the face of Wang Mang's unfriendly tone, the black crocodile slowly opened its bloody mouth and said, "Fellow cultivator, are you really going to fight to the death?" He was asking Wang Mang what he wanted. If it was just to ask for benefits and make him pay a price, it would be fine. However, if Wang Mang really wanted to eat him, a life-or-death battle was inevitable. Hearing this, Wang Mang shook his huge snake head and slowly said, "Fight to the death. You think too highly of yourself. It's been a long time since I've eaten a big demon. I've never eaten such a huge crocodile. Furthermore, even if you didn't look for this king would have still killed you for the sake of Old Turtle." After hearing Wang Mang's words, the black crocodile knew that there was no way out. He laughed in anger. "All right. Let's see who will win." After saying that, the black crocodile moved. A wave of water appeared on the surface of the water as it quickly rushed towards Wang Mang. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was naturally not afraid at all. He also moved his huge body and swam toward the black crocodile at an extremely fast speed. For a moment, on the surface of the huge reservoir, two super behemoths were rushing towards each other at their top speed. If there were outsiders here, they would probably faint from fear because this scene was simply too difficult to watch. Moreover, both sides of the battle were super huge creatures. It would not be an exaggeration to say that such a scene was rare. If someone filmed it, the world would probably boil over. Chapter 105, 105 Killing the Black Crocodile King with Ease. A Rare Harvest. 105 Killing the Black Crocodile King with Ease. A Rare Harvest. Of course, such a terrifying scene was destined to never be leaked. It was as if this battle had to be decided before dawn. Otherwise, if they were discovered and filmed, the world would definitely be in an uproar. Would you dare to believe that there was a super python that was almost 50 meters long? Would you dare to believe that there was a 36-meter-long super crocodile? Similarly, it was Wang Mang's idea to end the battle before dawn. At this moment, Wang Mang and the black crocodile were charging towards each other. It was as if two shocking waves were about to collide. 10,000 beast deterrence. Just as they were about to collide, Wang Mang immediately used a skill. Although this black crocodile was indeed very strong, but it was not as strong as Wang Mang. Therefore, once Wang Mang used the 10,000 beast deterrence, the other party's strength would definitely decrease by a third. This way, the black crocodile, which was already weaker than Wang Mang, would be in an even more miserable situation. As expected, after Wang Mang used his skill, the huge black crocodile that was charging over quickly felt its body tremble. At this moment, the black crocodile suddenly felt an inexplicable fear toward Wang Mang. However, he still overcame this fear and charged towards Wang Mang ferociously. At this point, both sides were already very close to each other, and the battle in the reservoir was bound to start at any moment. At the same time, Wang Mang used his skill again. Steel Body. Super Self-Healing. At the same time, the black crocodile that had already rushed in front of Wang Mang opened its terrifying bloody mouth. He opened his bloody mouth and bit at Wang Mang's huge snake head. If it bit Wang Mang's head with its bloody mouth, he was confident that he could kill him. This was because his bite force was tremendous. The two main abilities he relied on to survive were outstanding. These were his bite force and defense. He had almost 30 tons of bite force and crocodile leather armor that was comparable to bronze skin and iron bones. Naturally, he was best at primitive combat. Thus, what he wanted most was for Wang Mang to compete with him in primitive-style battles. However, when his bloody mouth was about to bite Wang Mang's huge snake head, Wang Mang easily dodged it. Similarly, Wang Mang's bloody mouth also bit the black crocodile's huge mouth from the side. The black crocodile's bloody mouth ended up being bitten by Wang Mang instead. In panic, the black crocodile began to struggle crazily, causing massive waves in the water. However, Wang Mang refused to let go. He wanted to inject the poison, but he couldn't pierce the crocodile's armor. The reason for that was that the black crocodile's mouth was too tough. It was as hard as steel. Helpless, Wang Mang could only bite this fellow's bloody mouth and refuse to let go. At the same time, Wang Mang suddenly remembered the best way for the giant python to kill the crocodile in the animal world. That's right. Death entanglement was definitely the best way to kill this crocodile. Thinking of this, Wang Mang twisted his huge body and began to slowly wrap himself around the black crocodile's huge body. The black crocodile naturally saw through Wang Mang's idea. He swung his mouth and huge body crazily, but it was to no avail. Not only that, when Wang Mang's huge body wrapped around its body, the black crocodile was even more terrified. He did not expect to be finished by just one move. The madness caused by a fear of death turned into a violent struggle. Unfortunately, after Wang Mang wrapped himself around the black crocodile, he became even more delighted. He began to continuously contract his huge body, and his strength continued to increase. In almost a moment, Wang Mang's huge body wrapped around the black crocodile like a dumpling. Seeing this, the old turtle watching from afar was even more frightened. He only heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that Wang Mang had the upper hand. He was afraid that his new king would not be able to defeat the black crocodile. If even Wang Mang could not defeat the black crocodile, he would really be finished. Fortunately, this newly acknowledged king's strength was simply more terrifying than he had imagined. In just a moment, he had gained the upper hand. Moreover, Old Turtle had lived for more than 1,000 years and could be said to be knowledgeable. He knew that assuming both were the same size, if the crocodile was entangled by the giant python, the outcome would be tragic. What's more, the king he had just acknowledged was larger than the black crocodile and had higher cultivation. If this black crocodile did not have any other technique, it would basically be waiting for death at this point. If Wang Mang wanted to kill this black crocodile, he only needed to use some effort. To strangle it to death. Reality was just as this old turtle had guessed. Right now, Wang Mang was extremely relaxed. After wrapping the black crocodile, Wang Mang continued to increase the strength of his coiling. Gradually, the black crocodile's huge body was crushed until it deformed. In his extreme fear, the black crocodile king began to beg Wang Mang in pain, "Your Majesty, please spare me. I'm willing to submit to you." Wang Mang turned a deaf ear to the black crocodile's begging, and he couldn't help but mutter in his heart, "You're even more shameless than me. How could I possibly take a shameless person like you as a subordinate?" Furthermore, in order to kill the black crocodile faster, Wang Mang began to spit out large amounts of corrosive poison. The black crocodile, whose mouth was already bitten by Wang Mang, struggled crazily and let out a painful and miserable roar. That was because Wang Mang's corrosive poison was rapidly corroding the black crocodile's bloody mouth. The pain of his flesh turning into pus and blood was unimaginable. Of course, Wang Mang didn't care about the black crocodile's frantic struggles. In any case, this fellow was surely going to die. In addition, as the black crocodile struggled, the two huge bodies that were entangled together sunk into the water. Although the black crocodile was indeed a great demon and could survive in the water without breathing for a long time, it was definitely not comparable to Wang Mang. Wang Mang could breathe underwater. It could be said that he was like a fish in water. He was more suited to living in the water than the black crocodile. Therefore, the black crocodile only lasted for 4 hours before it was killed off by Wang Mang. At this moment, Wang Mang, who was still wrapped around the black crocodile, slowly released his grip after confirming that the black crocodile was dead. However, when Wang Mang let go of the black crocodile, he realized that he had crushed the black crocodile's body until it was severely deformed. The originally evenly sized black crocodile had been wrapped and squeezed by Wang Mang until it now looked like a candied hawthorn. Originally, it was like this, and LT, PNGT. Asterisk. Now it's like this, and LT, 000000, and LT, PNGT. Oh. Of course. To Wang Mang, no matter what the black crocodile's corpse looked like, it wouldn't affect his appetite. Therefore, in his excitement, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth to its max. Then, Wang Mang slowly swallowed the entire black crocodile from head to toe. Honestly, if not for his terrifying digestive ability, Wang Mang definitely wouldn't dare swallow his prey like this. The black crocodile was really too big. However, in order to save himself the trouble, Wang Mang actually swallowed the entire black crocodile. What made Wang Mang heave a sigh of relief was that it only took him a little more than an hour to successfully swallow the black crocodile. As for Old Turtle in the distance, he was completely dumbfounded. He was almost scared to death by Wang Mang's actions. That was because Wang Mang was indeed very big, but the black crocodile was not small either. However, Wang Mang directly swallowed the entire black crocodile, scaring the Old Turtle stupid. However, after seeing Wang Mang successfully devour the black crocodile, the Old Turtle became even more loyal to Wang Mang. This king that he had just acknowledged was extremely powerful and treated him so well. There was no reason for him not to pledge his loyalty. Only such a king was worthy of him, an old turtle, following him to the death. At the same time, after Wang Mang ate the black crocodile, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully devoured the black crocodile demon. You have received 5 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully completed the mission. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained 30 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained Basic Gacha X1. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained a Beginner Wheel of Fortune X1. Chapter 106, 106 Successful Evolution. 51 meters. Possessed by the Goddess of Luck. 106 Successful Evolution. 51 meters. Possessed by the Goddess of Luck. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was overjoyed. Now that he had completed the mission, he had obtained another 35 million evolution points. Originally, he was less than 50 million evolution points away from evolving. Now, he had obtained another 35 million evolution points. At this point, Wang Mang was only 10 million evolution points away from evolving again. Even better was that Wang Mang had other rewards to collect. The reward for the mission this time was quite good. He also obtained a basic gacha. He even obtained a free Wheel of Fortune spin. If he opened these two rewards and obtained some evolution points, he would naturally be able to evolve. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was overjoyed. If not for the fact that this old bastard was beside him, Wang Mang even wanted to laugh out loud. At this moment, Old Turtle had already swam over from afar. He carefully looked at Wang Mang and asked, "Your Majesty, are you all right?" To be honest, Old Turtle was also very puzzled. Why didn't his king's stomach expand after swallowing the black crocodile? Of course, he didn't know how terrifying Wang Mang's digestive ability was. It was even specially modified by the system. Therefore, any prey that Wang Mang could eat would be instantly consumed. He did not have to worry about being stuffed to death. Faced with the old turtle's question, Wang Mang shook his huge snake head and said, "It's fine. I'm fine. Old bastard. From now on, you'll be in charge of this huge reservoir on my behalf. If anything happens in the future, just report it to me immediately. Oh right. You have to guard the reservoir well for me. Don't let me down." After hearing Wang Mang's words, Old Turtle became even more emotional. This feeling of being trusted without reservation simply moved him to tears. In his excitement, Old Turtle swore solemnly and promised Wang Mang, "Your Majesty, don't worry. I won't let you down. This old servant will definitely follow you to the death. I will definitely not disappoint you." Only then did Wang Mang nod in satisfaction. "Good. Old bastard. I'll leave this place to you." With that, Wang Mang moved his huge body and left under Old Turtle's respectful gaze. Wang Mang first swam back to the shore of the Huanshan Reservoir, then rushed to the nest impatiently. After returning to the nest, Wang Mang curled his body into a ball and muttered excitedly, "System, open the gacha for me first." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully opened the gacha. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have received Author's Dream Chaser, a signed photo. Huh. After hearing the first prize, Wang Mang was completely dumbfounded. What kind of **T reward was this? What was the use of asking for an author's autographed photo? Moreover, which lousy author was chasing after his dream with a pen? He, who loved to read novels in his previous life, did not know this author at all. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt extremely depressed. System. I want evolution points. Don't mess around. I'm trying to evolve. Wang Mang could not help but roar in his heart. At this moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained Teacher Tsang's classic movie. The system's voice once again dealt a heavy blow to Wang Mang's anticipation. What kind of person was he? How could he possibly look at that kind of thing? All right. He was indeed that kind of person. However, the problem was that he had already turned into a giant python. What use was this little movie to him? At least change it to a snake movie. At this moment, the system's voice sounded again. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have obtained 30 million evolution points. Ding. Congratulations, host. You have accumulated evolution points to meet the evolution requirements. Do you want to evolve? No. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, this basic gacha had given him 30 million evolution points. Otherwise, Wang Mang would feel like he had suffered a huge loss. Only now did he know that the items obtained from this so-called basic gacha were really all based on luck. Looking at the gacha box this time, the reward was worlds apart from the previous one. Fortunately, he received 30 million evolution points, which was enough for Wang Mang to evolve. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's depressed mood was greatly lifted. At the same time, Wang Mang was temporarily not prepared to draw the beginner wheel of fortune. His luck seemed to be a little bad now. He would only spin the wheel after he evolved. With this thought in mind, Wang Mang muttered in his heart, "System, start evolving." At the same time, the system's familiar voice sounded again. Ding. Successfully deducted 260 million evolution points. Beginning evolution. In the next moment, Wang Mang excitedly began to evolve again. This was because after this evolution, his size would reach an unprecedented 50 meters. At that point, Wang Mang was so excited that he lost consciousness. 2 hours later. Only then did Wang Mang wake up from his evolution. First of all, his body had grown even larger again. The degree of change in his evolution this time was very great. Wang Mang even noticed it without looking at his personal information. His body was once again much thicker than before. Thinking of this, Wang Mang hurriedly chanted in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Deep Sea Giant Python. Status, Adult. Cultivation, 2,500 years. Physique, 51 meters long, 3.6 meters wide, 24,000 kilograms. Combat strength, bite strength, 24,000 kilograms, speed, 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, Deathbind, Corrosive Poison, Skin Camouflage, Steel Body, Super Self-Healing, Underwater Breathing, Bloodthirsty Rage Kill, 10,000 Beast Deterrence. Special, Storage Space, Information Detection, 90% Evolution Card, Beginner Wheel of Fortune X1. Divine Power, King's Enslavement. Maul, activated. Evolution Points, 26 million/520 million. After reading his personal information, only then did Wang Mang nod in satisfaction. Not bad. Not bad. He had finally broken through 50 meters. Now, he was even bigger than the super python in the movie. Wang Mang could even wrap his huge body around a skyscraper like in the Python movie. Of course, this depended on the opportunity. At least for now, Wang Mang wouldn't have such a chance. If he really dared to appear in the city, the Empire would probably destroy him by force. Of course, Wang Mang was well aware of this. However, who knew what would happen in the future? Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel his blood boil. Actually, what Wang Mang wanted to do the most was to go to the human cities. Then, like in the Python movie, he wanted to wreak havoc. Who would make countless people scream in fear and countless people tremble because of him. Sigh. Don't think about it for the time being. If there's a chance, I must try. After sighing, Wang Mang remembered that he still had a beginner wheel of fortune spin that he had yet to use. At the thought of this, Wang Mang could not help but chant in his heart, "System, use the beginner wheel of fortune." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded, "Ding. Congratulations, host. You have successfully used the wheel of fortune opportunity." Then, a huge fortune compass appeared in Wang Mang's mind again. However, the 9 items on the wheel of fortune made Wang Mang go berserk with excitement. The 9 prizes were 9.9 billion evolution points, 900 million evolution points. 600 million evolution points. 300 million evolution points. Skill, Rui shrinks. Divine power, river traversing and water control. Divine power, cloud riding. Evolve once for free. 10% evolution card. Chapter 107, 107 Wheel of Fortune. Lord Tiger caught in the crossfire. 107 Wheel of Fortune. Lord Tiger caught in the crossfire. After looking at the 9 prizes, Wang Mang was stunned. He even found it unbelievable. Could it be that the system had made a mistake? That was because none of the 9 prizes were bad. The 9 prizes were all good stuff. Could this be a dream? To be honest, after looking at the 9 prizes, Wang Mang still felt that it was unreal. Any one of these 9 prizes would be nice. Moreover, there was actually a divine power. A divine power that allowed him to ride the clouds. Wasn't this the preferred method of travel for an immortal? Just thinking about obtaining such a divine power made him feel so good. Therefore, Wang Mang was so excited that he couldn't wait to say, "System, let's spin the wheel." After saying that, Wang Mang became even more excited and nervous. This was because the 9 prizes this time were all beyond Wang Mang's expectations. In truth, from Wang Mang's point of view, there might currently be a problem with the system. Otherwise, how could such a good thing happen? In reality, Wang Mang was overthinking it. Since it was already called the Wheel of Fortune, naturally, the rewards would always change. However, the best prize for the beginner Wheel of Fortune had an upper limit. Moreover, the higher the level, the higher the upper limit of the Wheel of Fortune. To put it bluntly, the worst thing in a higher-level Wheel of Fortune draw was much better than the worst thing in a low-level Wheel of Fortune. At the same time, under Wang Mang's nervous anticipation and excitement, the Wheel of Fortune began to slowly rotate. This caused Wang Mengxin to start praying to all known deities as he stared at the Wheel of Fortune. A minute later, the Wheel of Fortune needle began to slow down. At the same time, the system's familiar voice sounded, "Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have drawn 10% of the evolution card. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully obtained 10% of the evolution card." When he heard the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but look at the other prizes regretfully. In Wang Mang's opinion, this 10% evolution card was not the best item, nor was it the worst. This was because what Wang Mang truly wanted was the divine power. For example, cloud riding, river control, or the ability to shrink. Wang Mang wanted these 3 divine abilities very much. There was no need to talk about water control. From the name, it was obvious that it was very suitable for Wang Mang's identity as the overlord of the water. There was no need to discuss riding cloud riding either. Just from the name, one could tell that this divine power allowed him to fly into the sky. In Wang Mang's eyes, this kind of divine ability was truly an immortal's technique. Unfortunately, he saw these prizes but could not obtain them. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a little helpless. However, he still obtained a 10% discount evolution card. A 10% evolution card was still not bad. At least with this, Wang Mang saw another opportunity to evolve. If the 10% evolution card could allow him to spend just 10% of the necessary evolution points, he would be able to successfully evolve. He originally needed 520 million evolution points for his next evolution, but after using the 10% evolution card he only needed 52 million evolution points. At the thought of this, Wang Mang's gloomy mood finally eased a lot. I have to work hard to complete missions in the future and strive to get something good. It's too difficult to obtain skills after evolution. Whether it's the Wheel of Fortune or the gacha, there are all ways for me to obtain skills and divine powers. Wang Mang was keenly aware that if he wanted to obtain skills and divine abilities, he really couldn't rely on evolution to obtain them. It seemed that sometimes, taking the initiative to attack was the best option. Wang Mang lamented this in his heart, but he was still in a good mood. After the sky turned dark, Wang Mang left the nest again. He twisted his huge body and shuttled through the nighttime forest. A few minutes later, Wang Mang arrived at his own farm. In the pig pen were 10,000 fat pigs. Clearly, they had been prepared long ago. Wang Mang ate the 10,000 pigs without hesitation and earned another 4.6 million evolution points. At the same time, Wang Mang also realized that ever since he had become bigger, eating pigs had become more convenient. Basically, he could eat pigs one by one easily, and the time it took him to eat the pigs had also reduced. Clearly, as Wang Mang's size increased, it became more and more convenient for him to eat. After all, how big was a pig? To Wang Mang, it was as convenient as eating a dumpling. After eating 10,000 pigs, Wang Mang left the farm in satisfaction. He first went to the shore of the reservoir and washed away the smell of blood around him. Then, he patrolled the territory like before. He first patrolled the shore of the reservoir. According to Old Turtle, everything was normal in the reservoir. Therefore, after patrolling the area in the reservoir, Wang Mang left the reservoir and patrolled a radius of 10 miles around the shore. Don't ask Wang Mang why he did this. It was mainly because he was really free. The system didn't give him any other missions to complete. Therefore, Wang Mang could only barely survive by relying on pig food every day. However, there were times when Wang Mang really had too much time on his hands. After Wang Mang patrolled the territory and was about to return, he suddenly saw a big colorful tiger jumping over anxiously from the distant forest. Oh! Wang Mang immediately stopped. After observing carefully, he felt that this colorful tiger seemed very familiar. Isn't this Lord Tiger? What's he doing here? After confirming the identity of this big multicolored tiger, Wang Mang was immediately puzzled. Didn't this guy just return to his territory 2 days ago? Even if he came to visit, he shouldn't have dropped by so soon, right? Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel even more puzzled. Moreover, this fellow was moving too fast. It did not look like he was simply in a hurry. Instead, it looked like he was fleeing for his life. Just as Wang Mang was guessing in his heart, Lord Tiger, who was fleeing for his life, inadvertently saw Wang Mang. When he saw Wang Mang, Hushan Juan could not help but feel a little happy. He even rushed toward Wang Mang without caring about anything else. Brother! You have to save me! Hushan Juan, who was shouting for help, ran even faster. In just a moment, Lord Tiger had already arrived beside Wang Mang. Moreover, he did not know how long this fellow had been running for, as the former was exhausted and panting like an ox. What's going on? Lord Tiger, who's chasing you? Upon hearing this, Lord Tiger looked at Wang Mang with a bitter expression and said, Brother Giant Python, I've been implicated by you. The Tree Demon King has sent his subordinates to kill you. Moreover, it's the most powerful fellow under the Tree Demon King. Tell me, who did I offend? They were clearly sent to kill you, but in the end, you came to find me first. You almost got me killed. If it weren't for the fact that I was still awake, I wouldn't even have known how I died. Hearing this, Wang Mang was a little surprised and speechless. Logically speaking, if the Tree Demon King wanted to start a fight, he should have sent his subordinates to find trouble directly with him. So, why did the subordinate of the Tree Demon King look for Lord Tiger instead? From the looks of it, Lord Tiger had really been implicated by him. Could this be the legendary disaster of legend? Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but want to laugh, but he didn't. On the contrary, what Wang Mang was focused on right now was the kind of powerful characters the Tree Demon King had sent. Regardless, Wang Mang was not too worried. As long as the Tree Demon didn't send out a Demon King, he had no reason to panic. This was because Wang Mang's strength had already reached 2,500 years. In other words, without 2,500 years of cultivation, his opponent wouldn't have the qualifications to go against Wang Mang. Even if it was a demon with more than 2,500 years of cultivation, as long as he was not as terrifying as the Tree Demon King, it was impossible for it to threaten Wang Mang's life. Wang Mang's strength had increased extremely quickly. In such a short period of time, he had already evolved twice. This was also the reason why Wang Mang had nothing to worry about. There was indeed nothing to fuss over unless the Tree Demon King personally took action. However, even if the Tree Demon King personally took action, Wang Mang was not afraid. He could not defeat the Tree Demon King for the time being. Having said that, even if he couldn't defeat the Tree Demon King, did it mean the latter would surely win? Chapter 108, 108 More Enemies. A 20-meter brown bear. A 45-meter python. 108 more enemies. A 20-meter brown bear. A 45-meter python. Of course, Wang Mang was not the kind of person who would run away at the drop of a hat. After all, as an overlord, Wang Mang had his own pride. Of course, if the opponent was too strong, he would pretend that he did not say anything. In addition, Wang Mang's strength had been increasing at an extremely fast rate. How long had it been? He had already evolved twice since then. This was also the reason why Wang Mang had no worries. There was indeed nothing for him to worry about unless the Tree Demon King personally took action. However, it was one thing for the Tree Demon King to personally take action. It was another matter whether he could catch up to Wang Mang or not. The biggest disadvantage of plant-type demons was that they could not run fast. In addition, in Wang Mang's opinion, no matter how strong the Tree Demon King was, it was impossible for it to have a Demon King-level subordinate. What was a Demon King? The most basic requirement for a Demon King was to have at least 3,000 years of cultivation. However, who at that level would be willing to be someone else's subordinate? All of them were already used to being kings themselves. Therefore, Wang Mang calmly asked the flustered Lord Tiger, "What subordinates did the Tree Demon King send? Why are you so scared?" Seeing the calm Wang Mang, Lord Tiger couldn't help but calm down a little. He bitterly said, "Brother Giant Python, you don't know the truth. This Tree Demon King has sent 2 of his strongest subordinates. Their cultivation must have reached 2,500 years. At this point, Lord Tiger's tone was filled with fear. After all, he had only cultivated for more than 1,000 years. Facing a demon with 2,500 years of cultivation, just the thought of it made him despair. This was because the strength of the greater demons was also divided into levels. The greater the difference in cultivation, the greater the difference in strength. Therefore, if he had not run away quickly, he would probably have died. After hearing Lord Tiger's words, Wang Mang, who hadn't paid much attention to it to begin with, paid even less attention to it now. However, when Wang Mang thought of the value of a greater demon, his eyes could not help but light up. 2 greater demons were worth at least 10 million evolution points. Moreover, these 2 demons had reached 2,500 years of cultivation. If he could eat these 2 demons, the evolution points obtained would definitely be more than 10 million. Thinking of this, Wang Mang couldn't help but want to laugh. He even suspected that the Tree Demon King was here to give him evolution points. Thinking of this, Wang Mang immediately said happily, "Brother Tiger, don't worry. As long as I'm here, there's nothing to be afraid of." Hearing Wang Mang's confident words, Lord Tiger was stunned at first. Then, after carefully scanning him, he was shocked. He did not expect that after not seeing him for a few days, this tough neighbor's strength had actually increased by another level. Compared to the threat Wang Mang gave him in the past, the current Wang Mang gave him an even more terrifying sense of danger. For a moment, Lord Tiger was shocked. At the same time, he wanted to know how Wang Mang did it. It had only been a short period of time. How could Wang Mang's strength increase so quickly? This was impossible unless Wang Mang ate great demons every day. Moreover, he had to eat quite a few great demons. Otherwise, it was absolutely impossible for him to advance so quickly. Thinking of this, Lord Tiger felt even more fear and reverence toward Wang Mang. This was a chain reaction caused by the increase in strength. "Let's go. Let's stay in my nest for the night and wait for the demons to come after us." After saying that, Wang Mang moved his huge body and left while Lord Tiger hurriedly followed behind him. After arriving at Wang Mang's nest, Lord Tiger sighed with emotion. Brother Giant Python truly lives the most comfortably. This territory is huge and close to the water source, and there are many prey nearby. Hearing this, Wang Mang was speechless. He thought to himself, are the prey in this forest even enough to feed me? Wang Mang's thought process was spot on. If there was no system. With his huge size, the prey in the forest really could not support him. Of course, the spiritual fish in the reservoir could still somewhat feed Wang Mang. After all, before Wang Mang occupied the nearby territory, the 2 giant catfishes had lived here for nearly 1,000 years. However, in Wang Mang's opinion, the reason why there were so many spiritual fish in this reservoir was related to the earth cores. To be honest, if not for the fact that he had to eat pigs every day and guard the core sprouts, Wang Mang would have long wanted to sweep through the territory of other demons. After all, the earth core sprout was about to mature. According to the system's notification, it should mature in 3 months. At that time, once he obtained the Earth Core Sprout, Wang Mang's strength would definitely soar once again. This Earth Core Sprout was a treasure. It actually nurtured so many sentient fish demons in this reservoir. Thinking of this, Wang Mang felt a little helpless. If only this heavenly treasure could ripen earlier. Wang Mang had never eaten this so-called heavenly treasure before. He didn't know what it tasted like or if it was delicious. Forget it. 3 months was not a long time anyway. With this thought in mind, Wang Mang felt much better. Then, Wang Mang curled up into a ball and fell asleep. Seeing that Wang Mang had fallen asleep, Lord Tiger hesitated for a moment before falling asleep as well. From his perspective, Wang Mang did not seem worried at all. On the contrary, he even seemed confident. On the second night, Wang Mang stretched his body. Then, he glanced at Lord Tiger and was speechless. This guy had woken up a long time ago, but he was unwilling to leave the nest. Needless to say, Wang Mang knew that this fellow was afraid of death. Otherwise, he wouldn't have waited until he woke up. Let's go out and take a look. Logically speaking, the 2 demons should be here. After Wang Mang spoke in a relaxed tone, he moved his huge body out of the cave. Seeing this, Lord Tiger hurriedly got up from the ground and slowly followed behind Wang Mang. After walking out of the nest, Wang Mang was surprised to find that it was raining heavily. It could be said to be raining cats and dogs. Other than that, the wind was also very strong. This was probably a typhoon. Of course, it was a small problem for Wang Mang. This storm that could break trees had no effect on Wang Mang at all. Just as Wang Mang was about to go to the farm and eat the 10,000 pigs, he suddenly saw 2 huge figures in the distant forest. It was a 20-meter-tall super brown bear. As he walked, he broke many trees. It could even be said that the ground trembled slightly with every step he took. A torrent of wind and rain hit his body, but it was completely useless. The other behemoth was a 45-meter-long python. This was a green python. Its size was far inferior to Wang Mang's. Of course, this was only in comparison to Wang Mang. It didn't mean that he was actually small. His body was also 3 meters wide. As he moved, he knocked down many trees. The 2 of them could be said to be behaving unscrupulously. Clearly, they did not take the owner of this territory seriously at all. Upon seeing this scene, Wang Mang's originally good mood completely darkened. Lord Tiger, who was hiding behind Wang Mang, was already trembling in fear. This was because these 2 were the ones who had chased after him back then. If these 2 guys had not been playing with him, he wouldn't have been able to escape to Wang Mang. At the same time, the 2 demons were already staring at Wang Mang from 1,000 meters away. However, although the 2 demons were surprised by Wang Mang's huge size, they did not care at all and still rushed over at a moderate speed. This scene made Wang Mang even more angry. He was incomparably furious. These 2 reckless fellows were simply too arrogant. In front of him, they still dared to wreak havoc on his territory. This was an unbridled provocation towards Wang Mang. They didn't take him seriously at all. Chapter 109, 109 Is this the legendary tiger's aura? 6.5 seconds of actual combat. 109 Is this the legendary tiger's aura? 6.5 seconds of actual combat. I'll turn all of you into evolution points to appease the anger in my heart. In his fury, Wang Mang muttered to himself. Then, Wang Mang began to move his huge body and rush towards the 2 of them. After seeing Wang Mang rush up, the 20-meter-tall brown bear stood up, opened its bloody mouth, and roared at Wang Mang, "Roar! Let me fight you first." At the same time, the brown bear charged toward Wang Mang like an earth-shattering hill. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang sneered in his heart. These 2 guys were really arrogant. Under such circumstances, he chose to fight him one-on-one. Wasn't this giving Wang Mang a chance to insta-kill them? Of course, the cultivation of these 2 guys was similar to Wang Mang. Therefore, Wang Mang did not use the 10,000 beast deterrent skill. On the contrary, Wang Mang used another skill that he had up his sleeve, Steel Body. In the next moment, just as the super brown bear was about to meet Wang Mang, it stood up again. Then, the super brown bear grabbed Wang Mang's head with its 2 huge bear paws. Clearly, This super brown bear had dealt with super pythons many times before, as it could be said to be very familiar with them. Upon seeing this, Wang Mang subconsciously dodged his huge snake head. However, his body was still hugged by this guy's huge bear paw. Similarly, Wang Mang seized the opportunity to open his bloody mouth and spray the corrosive poison at the brown bear's face. Seeing this, the brown bear was shocked. He instinctively wanted to dodge, but it was already too late. Puffed. Wang Mang's corrosive poison sprayed all over his bare face. In the next moment, the brown bear could not help but let out a miserable roar. At the same time, his huge bear paw let go of Wang Mang. He covered his bare face in pain and screamed, "Ah! My eyes! My eyes!" Clearly, this super brown bear demon had never dreamed of such a thing happening. Wang Mang was a freaking giant python that could spit venom. In fact, before he came, the Tree Demon King had already told him to be more careful. However, he did not take this warning seriously at all. If he had been more careful, he wouldn't have had to deal with Wang Mang's corrosive poison. One could only imagine the sour burning feeling now that the corrosive poison was rapidly rotting his face. It made the super brown bear howl in pain and roll on the ground, knocking down a large number of trees. Seeing this scene, the green super python demon not far away could not help but be shocked. He did not expect Wang Mang to be so powerful. They had only fought for one round, but a mouthful of poison had already tortured the super brown bear demon to death. It could even be said that Wang Mang's strength in this battle was equivalent to hanging the other party up and beating him up. Thinking of this, the green python's heart became especially heavy. Now, the super brown bear had lost its combat ability in just one round, which made him tremble with fear. It was to the extent where the green python already had thoughts of retreating. Wang Mang's strength was a bit frightening. They were both python demons, but Wang Mang could even spit poison. This was simply unscientific. After all, although he had many powerful techniques, he didn't have any way to spit poison. Just thinking about the scene of Wang Mang spewing poison made him feel like he was in a terrible fix. For a moment, the green python was already afraid. Not far away, Lord Tiger was also dumbfounded when he saw this scene. When he saw the super brown bear demon tearing at the flesh on its face in pain, his hair stood on end. Wang Mang had used this move in front of the Tree Demon King and killed the Golden Eagle King in one move. Back then, he had thought that the Golden Eagle King was too weak, but it seemed like that wasn't the case at all. Wang Mang's technique that he used to spray poison was unchanged. He used it to torture the super brown bear until it was half dead, instantly nullifying its combat strength. Could this be the legendary one-kill move? After all, the super brown bear had not even displayed his strength at all. Thinking of this, Lord Tiger was extremely envious. They were both greater demons, but when he encountered this brown bear greater demon, he could only run for his life. Meanwhile, Wang Mang defeated the enemy with one move. At the same time, Wang Mang seized this opportunity. He opened his bloody mouth and bit the super brown bear's arm. Wang Mang repeated this and bit the super brown bear a few times. It was so painful that the super brown bear screamed crazily. This was because Wang Mang didn't just bite him. With every bite, he would inject a large amount of corrosive poison. Therefore, under Wang Mang's corrosive poison, the super brown bear could only wait for death. After that, Wang Mang slowly straightened his 10-meter-tall snake head and stared coldly at the green python. Facing Wang Mang's ferocious aura, the green python, which was already afraid, could not help but lower its head. Clearly, the green python only realized how powerful Wang Mang was when it faced him. It was to the extent where he felt an indescribable fear in his heart after facing the latter. Of course, what the green python did not know was that Wang Mang had already used a skill on it, 10,000 beast deterrence. This fellow was not even as big as him, so unlike the super brown bear, Wang Mang could estimate its strength. Therefore, Wang Mang did not hesitate to use his skill, 10,000 beast deterrence. After all, if this super brown bear was 50 meters in size, its combat strength would be terrifying. This was because the monsters that destroyed the Earth in Ultraman were only about 60 to 70 meters tall. If this super brown bear really reached more than 50 meters, it would be no different from a monster. At the same time, Wang Mang slowly moved his huge body and began to approach the green python. Seeing Wang Mang approach, the green python subconsciously retreated a distance. Fellow cultivator, this is all a misunderstanding. I really didn't mean to cause trouble for you. I was forced by the Tree Demon King." Hearing the green python's words, Wang Mang was speechless. This fellow was also two-faced. Even so, how could Wang Mang, who was lacking evolution points, let him go so easily? This guy and the super brown bear could be said to be Wang Mang's meal. They were worth a huge amount of evolution points. Therefore, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and said coldly, "Since you've already come to seek trouble with me, you should be prepared to die. I'll send the two of you off so that you can reunite with the Golden Eagle King as soon as possible." After saying that, Wang Mang moved his huge body and rushed toward the green python without any fear. Seeing this scene, the green python felt bitter in its heart. It could only brace itself and charge forward. He knew that it was impossible for him to escape. Wang Mang was a bit older than him, so how could he be slower than him? "Ah! Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me." With nowhere to retreat, the green python roared angrily and rushed toward Wang Mang. Just as they were about to meet, Wang Mang opened his bloody mouth and bit the green python's body. Similarly, the green python bit Wang Mang's body back. However, the toughness of Wang Mang's body almost made him cry out loud. On the contrary, Wang Mang's bloody mouth easily pierced his flesh. Although he also bit Wang Mang's body, his bite was definitely not as deep as Wang Mang's. This was because Wang Mang's bite strength and defense were not something that the green python could compare to. Wang Mang did not panic at all after being bitten. Instead, his huge body started to entangle the green python. The huge bodies of the two parties intertwined together, and the scene looked like a fried dough stick that was rolling crazily on the ground. However, as Wang Mang continued to wrap around it and increase his grip, even using the corrosive poison midway, the green python let out a painful scream. Although the green python had also used its own healing and even defensive techniques, he could not compare to Wang Mang in any aspects. Regardless of strength, regardless of defensive power, regardless of bite force, regardless of his main body, none of them were Wang Mang's match. When he realized that he could not defeat Wang Mang at all, the green python began to beg without any morals. "Your Majesty, please spare my life. I'm willing to follow you to the death. Your Majesty. We're from the same corps. Why are we in such a hurry to fight each other?" Chapter 110 Another Choice Mission, 10 million evolution points for free. 110 Another Choice Mission, 10 million evolution points for free. After hearing the green python monster's plea, Wang Mang was speechless. He did not even know where this fellow had heard this famous saying from. Of course, Wang Mang would not let him off so easily. This guy was already a fish on Wang Mang's table. He couldn't bear to give up this decent amount of evolution points. Therefore, Wang Mang replied with a sinister smile, "There's no need for you to follow me. Just obediently enter my stomach. Let us become one." As soon as he finished speaking, the power of Wang Mang's grip became stronger and stronger, and he began to continuously use the corrosive poison. An hour later. In the end, the green python was successfully killed by Wang Mang. Then, Wang Mang slowly let go of his body and looked into the distance. Seeing that the super brown bear was still alive, Wang Mang spent another hour to get rid of this super brown bear. At this point, these two greater demons had been completely killed off by Wang Mang. After killing these two big guys, Wang Mang happily began to enjoy the spoils of war. Needless to say, it took Wang Mang half an hour to eat the super brown bear. As for this super green python, it was much more convenient for Wang Mang to eat it. He easily split them into two halves and swallowed them. At this point, the two behemoths had both entered Wang Mang's stomach. At the same time, the system's familiar voice sounded. "Ding! Congratulations, host. You have devoured the super brown bear demon. You have obtained 8 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have devoured the super giant python demon. You have obtained 8 million evolution points." After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was overjoyed. These two big guys were more valuable than he had imagined. Each of them was worth 8 million evolution points. Moreover, Wang Mang was now one step closer to evolution. He had eaten 4.6 million pigs previously. Now, he had obtained another 16 million evolution points. In addition, he had not eaten the pigs tonight. After Wang Mang ate 10,000 pigs tonight, he would have accumulated almost 25 million evolution points. Don't forget that Wang Mang needed 520 million evolution points to evolve. However, he had also drawn a 10% evolution card. In other words, he only needed 52 million evolution points to evolve. He had almost accumulated half of the 52 million evolution points. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel happy. With this thought in mind, Wang Mang rushed towards his own farm, leaving behind the dumbfounded Lord Riger. After arriving at the farm, Wang Mang easily ate another 10,000 pigs and earned another 4.9 million evolution points. At this point, Wang Mang was only 25 million evolution points away from evolving again. Satisfied, Wang Mang left the farm happily and went to the shore of the reservoir to wash the blood off his body. After taking a shower, Wang Mang moved his huge body and rushed towards his home. Although he had fought a huge battle that night, his gains were more bountiful than he had imagined. At this moment, the familiar voice of the system sounded in Wang Mang's mind again. Ding! According to the host's current situation, the host is given the following mission choices. Quest number 1, face the pursuit of the Tree Demon King, swallow your anger and choose to ignore it. Mission time, choose this and you will immediately receive the reward. Mission reward, 10 million evolution points. Quest 2, face the pursuit of the Tree Demon King and counterattack, regardless of success or failure. Mission duration, within 3 days. Mission reward, 30 million evolution points. Quest 3, facing the pursuit of the Tree Demon King, attack in anger and kill the Tree Demon King. Mission duration, within 5 days. Mission reward, 50 million evolution points. Intermediate Gacha X1, Random Wheel of Fortune X1. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was even more stunned. He did not expect the system to ask him to fight the Tree Demon King to the death. Of these 3 missions, the easiest was naturally the first one. The first mission did not require him to do anything. He could get 10 million evolution points for free. Even so, how could Wang Mang bear to choose the first mission? What made Wang Mang conflicted was that he really couldn't defeat the Tree Demon King right now. Did he really have to choose the second mission? Fight with the Tree Demon King. Although this mission also offered 30 million evolution points, Wang Mang did not want to choose it. He was too lazy to run, and the reward was not big enough to change his mind. Wang Mang wanted to choose the third mission, but the problem was that he couldn't beat the Tree Demon King. For a time, Wang Mang couldn't help but feel conflicted once more. What Wang Mang wanted to choose the most was naturally the third mission. However, he was faced with a very realistic problem. He really couldn't beat this guy. There was a long silence. Wang Mang had already made up his mind. He made up his mind and said to himself, System, I choose the first mission. Yes. Wang Mang chose Quest 1. The main factor was that he really couldn't win. Choosing the second mission still required him to fight with the Tree Demon King. There was no point in getting 30 million evolution points. However, for the third task, he could not defeat the Tree Demon King, let alone kill it. The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully completed the mission. You have received 10 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang felt helpless. Although he had obtained 10 million evolution points for free, he had no other choice. If he had the strength, would Wang Mang be willing to give up the 3 generous rewards offered by the third mission? He was just forced to do so. Fortunately, after freeloading 10 million evolution points, he now only needed 10 million more evolution points. With these 10 million evolution points, he only needed to eat pigs for 2 to 3 days to evolve. Upon thinking of this, Wang Mang felt somewhat regretful, but he relaxed a little. If it wanted him to fight the Tree Demon King to the death, it meant that the system thought too highly of him. Shaking his head inwardly, Wang Mang hurried back to his nest absent-mindedly. When he returned to the nest, Lord Tiger rushed up excitedly. Brother Giant Python. You're too amazing. Both demons had 2,500 years of cultivation. In the end, you killed them easily. Impressive. Admirable. Admirable. Facing Lord Tiger's flattery, Wang Mang nodded absent-mindedly. After that, Wang Mang no longer paid any attention to Lord Tiger. Instead, he curled up into a ball, his heart aching. He felt that he had missed out on many things. Intermediate Gacha. A random wheel of fortune. Look carefully. It was a random wheel of fortune. This was not a beginner wheel of fortune. Just thinking about it made Wang Mang's heart ache. Of course, Lord Tiger did not know about all of this. Seeing that Wang Mang was ignoring him, Lord Tiger thought that Wang Mang was asking him to leave. Thus, he laughed awkwardly and exchanged a few pleasantries with Wang Mang before bidding farewell and leaving Wang Mang's lair. Wang Mang didn't have much of a reaction to Lord Tiger's departure. He was still immersed in his heartache. This feeling of not being able to obtain the generous rewards was like falling out of love. At this moment, the system's voice sounded again, ding. According to the host's current situation, the following missions are given to the host. Quest number 1, face the pursuit of the Tree Demon King, swallow your anger and choose to ignore it. Mission time, choose and you will immediately receive the reward. Mission reward, 20 million evolution points. Quest 2, face the pursuit of the Tree Demon King and counterattack, regardless of success or failure. Mission duration, within 3 days. Mission reward, 60 million evolution points. Quest 3, facing the pursuit of the Tree Demon King, attack in anger and kill the Tree King. Mission duration, within 5 days. Mission reward, 100 million evolution points. Intermediate Gacha X2, Random Wheel of Fortune X2. Chapter 111, 111 The mission reward appears for the 3rd time. Reward increased by 20 times. 111 The mission reward appears for the 3rd time. Reward increased by 20 times. The system's voice sounded again. The same mission was issued again. Wang Mang was completely stunned. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation. However, the reward for this mission had increased. Moreover, this was a 2-fold increase. The 3 reward missions had all doubled. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was really a little confused. He did not understand what the system was doing. It was forcing him to fight to the death with the Tree Demon King. After figuring out the issue, Wang Mang was struck speechless. He did not expect the system to encourage him to go all out against the Tree Demon King. The rewards were doubled. This made Wang Mang feel that his dignity had been insulted. The system was humiliating him. Was he using evolution points to bribe him? Was he that kind of person? Did it really think that he was so greedy for money? The system was looking down on him. At the thought of this, Wang Mang fought the bleeding in his heart and made another choice. He said with a trembling voice, "System, I choose mission 1. As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Mang felt like he was about to suffocate, as if all his strength had been washed away. At this moment, Wang Mang could clearly feel how much his heart ached. At the same time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully completed the mission. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully obtained 20 million evolution points. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang felt bitter. He felt a huge sense of loss. He had missed out on hundreds of millions of evolution points. There were also 2 intermediate gachas. 2 random Wheel of Fortunes. What made Wang Mang feel a little relieved was that the same quest appeared twice in the system. He had earned 30 million evolution points for nothing. Coupled with his previous accumulation, it meant that he could now evolve again. Thinking of this, the huge sense of loss in Wang Mang's heart lessened a lot. Moreover, Wang Mang couldn't wait to evolve in order to numb his heartache. This was because the mission issued by the system made Wang Mang understand a principle. When he was not strong enough, no matter how generous the mission rewards were, he would not be able to obtain them. Therefore, Wang Mang's desire to increase his strength became unprecedentedly strong. He did not want to encounter such a situation again. It was simply too painful to see a mission with such generous rewards which he did not dare to accept. Thinking of this, Wang Mang muttered in his heart, "System, use the 10% evolution card. Begin evolution." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded again, "Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the 10% evolution card. Ding! Congratulations, host. After using the 10% evolution card, you need 52 million evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host. 52 million evolution points have been deducted. Evolution commencing. After the evolution began, Wang Mang completely lost consciousness. It wasn't until 2 hours later that Wang Mang regained consciousness. Wang Mang, who was slowly waking up, immediately observed himself. His body had once again undergone a huge change. He had probably increased by a few meters again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang muttered in his heart, "System, open my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Deep Sea Giant Python. Status, Adult. Cultivation, 2,800 years. Physique, 54 meters long, 3.9 meters wide, 27,000 kilograms. Combat strength, bite strength, 27,000 kilograms, speed, 94 kilometers per hour. Skills, Deathbind, corrosive poison, skin camouflage, steel body, super self-healing, underwater breathing, bloodthirsty rage kill, 10,000 beast deterrence. Special, storage space, information detection, 90% evolution card. Divine power, King's enslavement. Maul, activated. Evolution points, 16 million/1.04 billion. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. His cultivation had already reached 2,800 years. He was only 700 years away from the 3,500 years of cultivation of the Tree Demon King. Other than that, his body length had reached 54 meters. His body width had reached nearly 4 meters. His weight had also reached 27,000 kilograms. That was 27 tons. His bite force had also reached 27,000 kilograms. It was still 27 tons. Other than the fact that his speed had not increased, everything else had improved. Wang Mang was helpless against the speed attribute. The most difficult attribute for him to improve was his speed. Every time he evolved, all the other aspects would undergo a certain level of improvement. In addition, Wang Mang, who hadn't accepted the mission, was still in a very bad mood. This was because he could not get the mission reward. He looked at the large amount of evolution points he needed for his next evolution. He wanted to cry but had no tears. 1.04 billion evolution points. How many pigs did he need to eat? Even if he killed 10,000 pigs a day and earned 5 million evolution points a day, he still needed at least 200 days. Who could wait 200 days? Wang Mang definitely did not have that kind of patience. After all, Wang Mang's personality was rather impatient, and he didn't have the patience to develop slowly. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's joy from completing his evolution immediately disappeared. Just as Wang Mang was having a headache about the future evolution, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! According to the host's current situation, the following missions are given. Quest number 1, face the pursuit of the Tree Demon King, swallow your anger and choose to ignore it. Mission time, choose and you will immediately receive the reward. Mission reward, 20 million evolution points. Quest 2, face the pursuit of the Tree Demon King and counterattack, regardless of success or failure. Mission duration, within 6 days. Mission reward, 600 million evolution points. Quest 3, facing the pursuit of the Tree Demon King, attack in anger and kill the Tree King. Mission duration, within 10 days. Mission reward, 1 billion evolution points. Intermediate Gacha X3, Random Wheel of Fortune X3. After hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang was stunned once again. This was probably the third time the same mission had appeared in the system. However, after reading the rewards of the 3 missions, Wang Mang was immediately displeased. The rewards for these 3 missions had changed. This was because the reward for Mission 1 had not changed. However, the reward for Mission 2 had increased tenfold. Also, the evolution points rewarded by the 3rd mission had increased by 10 times. No. When the missions first appeared, the rewards for Missions 2 and 3 were originally only 30 million and 50 million respectively. Now, it had become 600 million and 1 billion evolution points. This was a 20-fold increase. Even so, why did the number of rewards for Mission 1 double? It should have increased by 20 times. At least 200 million evolution points. This was precisely the reason why Wang Mang was exceptionally angry. Although he was surprised that the mission had appeared again. Since it had already done so, he wanted to continue freeloading. Even so, what did this system mean? The amount of rewards for missions 2 and 3 increased by 20 times. Only the reward for Mission 1 was still 20 million evolution points. In his anger, Wang Mang asked in his heart, "System, why is the first task still worth 20 million evolution points? Are you mistaken? You should increase it by 20 times. Mission 1 should be worth 200 million evolution points." The next moment, the system's familiar voice sounded, "The host's freeloading behavior has been detected." The system self-repaired and changed the rewards. The final rights belong to the system. After hearing the system's explanation, Wang Mang almost burst into tears. The system did not want him to continue freeloading. Moreover, the system did not just reject him. It was forcing him to fight the Tree Demon King to the death. Therefore, the number of rewards for the mission increased by 20 times. For a moment, Wang Mang was truly flustered. This was because the reward for beating him this time was too generous. Part 6 of the series ends here. Thank you for watching and listening. If you find it interesting, please give us a like, a comment and a subscription so that we have the motivation to make the next videos.